And we're live.
Hi, welcome. We are here for Handy Quilter Festivus, Christmas Festivus. We are going to be doing some Christmas projects today. And I've got Garla here with me.
Hi.
She is one of our Handy Quilter enthusiasts, and she is going to tell us a little bit about your machine and what you've got.
Oh, well, I have an Amara 24. I've had it for 7 months. And I saw Kim earlier today talk about her stitch count, and I'm almost up to 9 million stitches.
Hey, I'm impressed. Yay! You know that. I'm so bad at checking my stitch count. So Garla has prepared a couple of different fun things for us today. And I get to just kind of hang out with her and help
fun.
you. We're going to do this together, show off some of the projects.
Absolutely.
The thing that I love, Garla, with you having your machine 7 months, I still consider that a little bit of a newbie, not to be rude.
Absolutely a newbie.
But the cool thing about it is when you have your machine, even just for 6 or 7 months, you can still accomplish so many things. And I'm kind of like you. I love to do smaller projects on my machine. So I still do really big quilts, but I love small projects too, because then you feel really accomplished when you finish a small quilt or a small project and you get to finish it in one day and you're done.
Yeah.
So
small projects are very satisfying.
Oh yes, very. So before we get started, I'm just going to let everyone know we do want to have say hi, drop comments. We do have someone who's reading comments that can give us pass your questions to us and we can answer them for you. We are also doing a giveaway. This is going to be, is this at the end, Brianne? We'll draw at the end. Okay. So hashtag HQ Rudolph. Now, if you don't know how to spell Rudolph, HQ, right, for Handy Quilter, hashtag HQ RUDOLPH. Ready? Hashtag HQ RUDOLPH. Rudolph. Okay, that's what you have to put in the comments. Type it in the comments so that you're entered. We're giving away another $50 gift card to Handy Quilter website. So did I say that wrong?
You're supposed to say no spaces and they have to have the hashtag.
Okay. No spaces. You have to have the hashtag. It has to be hashtag HQ RUDOLPH, Rudolph. Okay. And that is for anything on the Handy Quilter website. So you can use that for batting scissors.
Perfect.
Leaders.
Yes.
What would you get if you could get anything?
Purple bobbins.
Purple bobbins. I love it. Yes. So the $50 is good to anything on the website. Second, before we start, we are doing a trade up. This is a new thing that we're doing.
Wow.
Where if you want to get a new machine, we'll take your old one. So you can call. There's going to be a number on the screen. We're also going to put it in the comments. Go ahead and call us. We'll talk to you about what machine you want to upgrade to. We actually will take other long arm brands too. So if you have a different machine and you want to switch over and come hang out with Handy Quilter, we'll help you with that. Yeah. So yes, you don't have to buy. You can just call that number and get a quote. We will talk to you about all your options. We'll give you an idea for pricing. And this is funny that I didn't realize this, but Kim talked about earlier this morning that when you get the quote for the machine, it includes the pricing for the frame. And I had never actually thought, oh, I know. I hadn't thought about that though. I was like, oh, right. Yeah, that's the price for everything. So thirdly, and then we'll get started with your projects. We are doing if you're going to buy a new machine or upgrade or trade in your machine, we're doing a bundle promotion. So there are 3 different bundles that you can pick from. The first is a highlight, and you can see, so this one right here over our machine, it's not turned on right now because lighting here in the filming studio. But this is a highlight, and it is integrated into our newer frames. And so the highlight is an add-on that you can get if you buy a new machine. You can pick that as your bundle. You can also pick, they do have a thread and batting bundle. So the thread is from Superior Threads, and we actually did some looking. It comes with bobbins, pre-wound bobbins. It comes with a ton of different kinds of thread, and it comes with 25 yards of batting. So it's one of those really big rolls of batting. Do you have those at home? Have you used those?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. I love them.
I go through batting like toilet paper.
Oh, yeah, I do too. It's true. And then the third option is Pro Stitcher Designs. You can get a $500 credit to any designs on the Pro Stitcher Designs website. So we're going to do a little bit with Pro Stitcher here so you can kind of see how that works. But when you're thinking about upgrading your machine, those are the 3 options for a bundle promotion. So highlight, thread and batting bundle, and then designs through Pro Stitcher. So
Wow.
I know that's a lot.
I'm not trading up my machine.
But
I love it.
You could still just get a highlight if you want.
I have a highlight. Okay, story about the highlight though,
Yes.
real quick. I changed my needle and put it in backwards. And that was how I got my highlight. I had to beg and plead. I need a highlight.
Because you couldn't see that the needle was in backwards.
Of course I couldn't.
Maybe I'm going to start putting my needle in backwards and see what I'm going to get out of
Yeah,
it.
that's right. It's very helpful.
Okay, so show us what we've got.
All right. Well, 8 days ago, my niece Brianne, she reaches out to me and texts me and says, "Hey, Garla, do you want to do a project at Handy Quilter?" And you all know I can't say no to Brianne. Brianne is the reason. She's the reason I have an Amara. She gave me the confidence to know that I would be successful using an Amara, and you can be successful too. Now I know that. But so when she texts me, I had Halloween all over my sewing table. I had orange and black little 3-inch squares everywhere, and I was making a collage jack-o'-lantern quilt, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the eyes, where I was going to put the mouth, how many half square triangles I was going to need, and that was it.
Yeah.
Halloween was over. Pushed all that to the side, and it was time for Christmas.
Time for Christmas in
Oh
July.
my goodness, Christmas in July. But then I got thinking about it, and I thought, why go to Christmas? Can't I go back to June and do Academy over and be sparkle and glow again?
I love
I want to
Academy.
be sparkle and glow again. All right, well, on to Christmas. Well, you know, I had that 7-day window to sew my samples, and I thought, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to go shopping. I can't go out and buy new fabric. I'm going to have to use what I have in my stash. I'm going to have to use what's left over. And so I started pulling out things. And this quilt over here behind me, this one, this is some of the fabric I'm going to use today, left over from it. And this one here too. This is a cute little quilt that we're going to use leftover fabric from Nomi Trees from Henry Glass. It was really fun looking at that leftover fabric and remembering all those really cute quilts I'd made and given away. So these small projects are, like we said, very satisfying because when you get finished with them, you have a cute little project to either keep for yourself or to give away. But like I said, I reminisce all my old quilts. But here's the sad thing. I didn't even make a dent, not a dent in that Christmas tub. I mean, it was really sad, but then it gave me a reassurance. If things will go really bad in the world, I have enough fabric to keep me busy for a long time. So Brianne asked me to talk about reusable wrapping paper. And so the first thing that came to my mind was reusable wrapping paper. That's like Amazon. And I started looking at these and started coming up with some clever ideas maybe that I could use. And I thought,
Oh, wait, Garla, reusable wrapping paper tomorrow.
well, we can use reusable wrapping paper as stockings, Brianne.
Oh,
yes,
so you guys need to come back tomorrow. We're actually talking
Yes.
more about this too.
But I thought we could do bags and we could do stockings and all kinds of clever things as reusable wrapping paper. But ours are going to be clever. They're going to be darling. People are going to want to keep them because it's just a miracle I have that Amazon
Wrapping.
Yeah, the paper drawstring bag left over. But I've been doing bags for like 10 years. So it only seemed natural for me to start making bags that were permanent for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I don't profess to be an expert, but I am a sewing enthusiast. And I love to help people learn to sew. And I really love to help people with their long arm. Even though I'm a newbie, I still help my friends learn how to use their long arms. But if you have questions, make sure you type them in. Brianne's behind the camera back there, and she'll help read those out to us and we can answer them. And also, if you have ideas, post on the Facebook website, post on those social media. We love to see what you're doing. We love to see your success stories. We'd love to hear the clever ideas that you come up with as well. So we're going to talk about stockings today. And let me tell you what, first of all, unlike a quilt, this is a craft. This is time to let your hair down.
Yep.
You're not going to have to match 1/4-inch seams. You can make up the patterns as you go. You know, if you want to use 3/8-inch seams, go for it. Or even 1/2-inch seams if that feels more comfortable.
Yeah.
If your seams don't match, nobody's going to care. So this is time to have fun. this is time to, use your personality and do what you want. So I had such a short amount of time to make my samples. And I thought, you know what? This is like Christmas. We have all these intentions. We're going to get so much done. And we only have this little bit amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep. We
But
know that rush.
December 25th comes along and, oh no, it's the 25th of December and I'm running out of time. Well, that's kind of what it was with me. Oh my gosh, I got to get all these samples done before I can quit. So I thought, one of the ways that you could speed up your Christmas prep is to use those cute panels. So we're going to talk a little bit about panels today and how I quilted them. And fabric manufacturers make cute new panels every single year. Every year they come up with something cute. And this panel is one that we're going to talk about too, but this is the one I want to show you how I quilted it. We're going to hold this up for a minute.
I got to see, I don't know if you guys can see, we have this really cute button that she's put on here too, which is adorable with a little bit of holly on it.
Yeah, that's a fun thing too, because you can add embellishments to them.
Yeah.
No rules.
No rules.
No rules.
It's a craft. I love it.
Right. So this stocking panel is Nomi Trees. It's by Henry Glass. And I use 2 Pro Stitcher patterns. They're in the membership. And this one at the top is called Swirl. And this one is called Pebbles. It's in a bundle package. And it's called Free Motion Background. And let me recommend to you this highly, because it stitches out really fast. I did this one in about 30 minutes and I did this one in about 40 minutes. Do you know how to look up your time of how long it's going to take to do a quilt? Do you want to show them that real quick?
Yes, we can. So there's something on Pro Stitcher. So
let me bring this over so she can grab that and show you how long it's going to take.
So Pro Stitcher is really cool because they have a lot of different features within Pro Stitcher to help you be a more successful and consistent quilter. So we have a design pulled up. We'll just pop over to our screen on Pro Stitcher really fast. We have this design pulled up, and this is one that you can use as an edge-to-edge design, or you could use it in a border.
Yeah.
You could use it all over on the quilt. So when we want to see how long it will take to stitch something out, we can come over here to our settings. So on the top right-hand corner, you can see I just clicked that button. That is our settings. And then here on the ribbon at the top of the screen, there's something called Stitch Stats. So if I push that button for Stitch Stats, it will tell me there's 5,676 stitches in this specific design, and it'll take 7 minutes and 14 seconds. So this, a lot of people will use this to look at after they've created an edge-to-edge design on their quilt. And they'll look at it to say, okay, how long do I have? Do I need to change the design because I need to get this done for a wedding? I've done that.
Or is it too dense? Maybe loosen up the density a little bit. That's
Exactly.
kind of a way for me to tell.
Yeah.
So this is truly a great pattern. This free motion background are great patterns to do quick. And another thing that I really love about this is this color thread. This is an Omni Sea Mist colored thread. And this light green shows up beautiful on that white without overtaking the quilt. So that's another idea for you if you want to try something different than just white on your quilt. Now you also probably see this batting hanging out right here. This is a great way to use all those scraps of battings. How many scraps of battings do you have, Shauna?
Way too many.
Yes.
Way too many.
Such a great place. And on the back, just to let you know, this is a Riley Blake Wave fabric that was given to me years ago. But this is your chance. You can use just some inexpensive white cotton. You can use muslin. You can use fabric that you want to get rid of.
Mhm.
Somebody gave you a long time ago and you're like, oh, I never am going to use this because it's going to be inside your socks. So it doesn't really matter what the inside looked like. So that's great. So those cute little Henry Glass stockings are going to be for my little children's church group. And I'm going to 3D print some toys and some candy. And look at that. It's July and they're almost done. It's really exciting, right? Okay. Another thing about stitching these smaller projects, now's the time to play with your tension. I'm a newbie and my machine runs beautiful, but do I really know how my tension works? If it's coming out perfect, what do I know, right? So this is your time to dial those knobs. Figure out what too tight tension is. Figure out what too loose tension is. And so another thing is, remember, these are just crafts. But one thing you're going to want to do is you are going to want to take your pattern and lower the density, change your size to resize it to smaller. You're probably going to want to do a 12 per inch stitch. And you're probably going to want to slow your machine down maybe just a little bit, especially if you're using some fun thread. All right. So let's talk a little bit how to make your product a little bit more professional. And one thing that I like to use is a product called Woven Interface. This is Pellon Shape Flex 101. I put these little tags on my,
that's smart,
with an elastic. And then all my interfacings are up in my closet with these little labels on the front. But there's other places to get woven interface in. I like Barb's Bags, and she does woven fuse, which is really nice if you want to go there, because guess what? No more Joann's. You got to find new places.
You got to find it
And
somewhere.
another thing to put inside your fun craft projects is vehicle headliner. Have you ever done that?
Tell me about this. This is a new thing.
Yeah, this is really inexpensive. And tomorrow when we do bags, we're going to talk about anti-soft and stable. This is a little bit limpier.
Yeah.
But you can buy vehicle headliner like from auto stores. Here, you can feel it. And you can put that, oh, look at this.
This is like the best thing I've heard of ever.
Oh,
how did I not know about this?
Wonderful.
These are like, you have the projects where you want a little bit of like more stiffness than the batting gives you.
That's right.
But like, I love this. I wish you guys could feel it. It's a little bit, it's still kind of thin. It doesn't have a really high loft, like a really thick batting. So I think I could even put this in with a batting to get a little more stiffness.
Oh, you could, and you could have the puff.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought this to show me.
Placemats would be great too.
Yes.
But this is a great thing for these stockings or for bags. And I'm an economic sewist. And it keeps your costs down.
Me too. This,
Yeah,
I'm totally
absolutely.
looking into this. You just get it like from a car,
Yes.
not repair place, but what's the word? Why can't I say?
Okay.
We have a question.
Absolutely washable.
Absolutely washable.
Yeah.
Garla
I've washed
says.
tons of stuff with it.
Have you washed it when it's not sandwiched between something? Like, will it ball up or anything? Do you
I've
know?
only washed it after it's been quilted.
Okay. So best advice is wash it
Here,
in
we
something.
could give it to Lily. She could go soap it up. No,
we're
kidding.
kidding. She's going to have her go wash it in the sink. I love it.
Okay,
That's
very
awesome.
cool. Okay, so I just want to let you know that my Rosie loves woven interfacing. Okay, who's Rosie?
Yeah, who's Rosie?
Well, Rosie is the nickname for my Amara 24.
I love that.
How many of you remember the Jetsons? Not you. You're too
I
young.
know the Jetsons. You're
Okay.
teasing me.
So my husband does home automation. And when we first got our
Wow.
home automation about, I think it's been about 11 years. It was really state of the art back then. So everybody teased me that meet George Jetson, Jane, his wife. So I needed a Rosie. So my Amara's name is Rosie, and she is remarkable. She is so remarkable. I just love her so much. All right, so that's Rosie.
Rosie. I love it.
Okay. So another thing I did as a new quilter that I want to share with you a little bit about today is I did a quilt data sheet. Okay. So I kept track of every project that I did. Okay, now,
This is very smart.
okay, I have to tell you though, the real reason I started.
Okay, tell me.
Okay.
This
One
is a safe place.
One of the lines on here says cost to quilt.
Oh.
So I took every project that I did, I timed it by square inch and put a cost to quilt over there, what I would have paid my long armor.
Yep.
And when I have my 1 year anniversary, I need to come back and get filmed, Brianne. And I'm going to tell you the amount of money that my
you've
Amara did for me that year, what it accomplished for me. But also on this, I keep track of like what kind of batting I used. I always give my quilt or a project a name. I also like keep track of the thread color and the brand name. Most importantly, the pattern, how I changed the pattern size, if I adjusted the gap or the wrap. And I kept track of that. And that was really good learning. I also have a line for tension. So I could say, okay, I'm using this kind of thread. I'm using this kind of batting. Let's start with the tension at this number.
Yes. Mhm.
So that was really helpful as a beginning quilter. So that was a fun
I need
thing
to look
do.
a little closer at your
Okay,
list
there
here.
you
I'm
go.
kind of intrigued.
All right. Is there anything on there that's scaring you?
No, I love this.
What?
What's the total?
I told you I'm waiting for my
She's
first
waiting.
year.
Yeah. So we don't have a total yet of what she has saved by doing her own quilts,
No,
but
not
in
yet.
1 year, 5 more months,
Yes.
she's going to come and report.
November 1st, I will add up all my
This
quilt
is
costs to
awesome.
quilt.
Yeah.
But that's a fun way to be a beginner quilter and learn what you're doing. All right, so that first stocking that we showed you, that panel is by Kathleen Fancure. And do you want to bring that first stocking back over? And we'll talk a little bit about what I did with that. That is the Pro Stitcher membership pattern poinsettia tablescape. And it's from the Christmas dinner collection. Okay.
I'm going to turn it. I wonder if we can see. Can I put it down here and we can show a little better here on this camera? Is that showing better or does it show better this way? Just there. Can you see the
Can you
stitching
see the little
design?
poinsettia?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, so I highly recommend on the membership that that's a collection that you get because it has some really darling Christmas patterns.
Yeah, this is really pretty too.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Pro
So
Stitcher
Pro
membership?
Stitcher membership,
Yeah.
yes. So Pro Stitcher membership is something that we've come out with kind of recently in the last couple years. So we have all of our designs on the Pro Stitcher website, and there's a membership. So if you are part of the membership that like you pay, I don't remember what it is. It's a monthly subscription. $14.95. Thank you. I've got these little birdies whispering in my ear to give me the answers.
Oh, monthly.
Okay,
and
so and the
year?
subscription is monthly. You can pay monthly or you can pay for the whole year, annual or monthly. So when you have the subscription, you can actually get a lot of Pro Stitcher membership designs. So this one is one of the membership designs.
So yeah, this tablescape, poinsettia tablescape is part of a bundle. So you get 2 patterns, but bundles count as 1 pattern. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go and get that one because
And
this one's cute.
I did this Omni silver on the front, and then I thought I'd try out that Magnifico. This is silver. Can't really see it. It blends in.
Yeah. Oh, that does pop pretty good.
Oh, look at Lily. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So this was the Magnifico thread that you did on the back.
Yes.
Yep.
And I
That's
changed the
beautiful.
pattern on the back to another Pro Stitcher membership pattern called Holly and Berries, just because I wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
And I like them both. Okay, well, let me tell you another thing about this panel. Just like that Gnomes stocking panel, this one also came with 4 stocks, 4 stocking. So maybe 2 fronts and 2 backs,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I found a coordinating pattern to put on the back. So instead of just making 2 stockings, I made 4.
I love it.
Yes, so that's
And
another way to
You probably did this on purpose, but this binding that you did matches this part
Oh
perfectly.
yeah, we're going to talk about that piping. That's a
I'm
fun
ahead of you. I'm
story.
sorry. It's beautiful.
Yeah, very fun story. All right, so let's talk about the construction of our cute stockings. Again, like I said, I'm expanding my 4 socks. Instead of making 2, I'm going to make 4. And the way I'm going to do that is with the coordinating fabric. And again, this is leftover from that quilt we just saw. So I'm going to lay down my fabric, and then I'm going to take my stocking that I've cut out, and I want it to be exact to match the back. So I'm going to lay it down on top of it. Oh, she's got me down here. Look how smart they are. They're smarter than me. Okay. But here's another trick for you, ladies. Tractor washers.
Oh, you've got all the good details.
Tractor washers. Why would I have tractor washers, Brianne?
Why do you have tractor washers?
Oh, no, because I'm from a farm. So 30 years ago, when I was sewing my kids' clothing, and we were cutting out knit with our rotary cutter.
Oh.
Yeah. So there, you can go to a hardware store and buy a tractor washer.
You're going to have all these quilters shopping at hardware stores. They got to watch out. These are actually pretty good for pattern weights. I like that. That's a good weight.
And so you're going to need a lot of weight to go through, your batting and your SF101 and your 2 layers of fabric. So you lay that tractor washer on or 2, then take your rotary cutter and cut it out. So those are tractor washers.
Not on your frame here.
No, not on
the cut
frame
table.
Yes, please.
Don't cut your quilt project.
Brianne wouldn't give me another station.
We got to get another station in here.
I mean, come
We'll
on.
talk to her.
She's so stingy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just like Shauna pointed out, now I've got my front and my back of my stocking. And one thing I like to do is I've numbered them. This is one and this is one. And the reason why,
Tell me.
panels don't come perfect.
Yes, you're right.
Panels are always skiwampus.
They are.
They make me nuts, but they make me happy. Okay.
Nuts and happy at the same time.
So I've just pinned Post-it notes on, so I know that this stocking is number 1. It goes with number 1, and I'll keep those little numbers on them until I get finished. And there's fancy little labels you can use. They make darling little cute tabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Post-it though, because
Yeah.
you can just pin it right on.
All right. So now we're going to talk about that cute piping.
That you have on this one finished. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about piping.
Okay.
So I love piping. Let me tell you why. It makes turning your project so easy.
Oh.
That gives you those crisp corners. You don't have to fight when you turn it to iron it. So piping's amazing. So this piping actually is an 1/8
Can
of
I
an
tell
inch.
you, I got to take a
Okay.
quick second. I have never done piping because I always thought it made it more hard to turn it.
Oh, so much easier.
Okay. All right.
All right.
You're going to convert me. Let's do it.
Okay. So this piping is an 1/8 of an inch thick, and I've taken 1 1/4 inch of fabric and wrapped around it.
Okay.
Okay. And I can't do anything straight. Okay. I mean, you should see my flower beds. Now they're okay now because they've all filled in.
So you're fine.
But I like to baste the fabric onto my piping first. So I use like a 3 or 3.5 inch seam, and I have my needle in the center,
Okay.
and I put that wrap around and just stitch with my zipper foot.
Oh.
Okay, so I got my zipper foot,
So
needle
you're
in the
just
center.
making a casing right around it.
Yep, there you go.
And I'm going to hold it here so they can see.
Yes,
So making a casing right around it, you've done the wrong sides together and you literally just stitch it with the raw edge right here.
Yeah, you got a raw edge and you just baste it on there. Okay.
I've always assumed this was way too hard for me. So I'm glad you're showing me.
Well, you probably got some mad skills and you don't have to do the basting part first.
No, okay, keep going. I want to know how
Okay.
we do this.
All right, now I probably would have liked maybe a 1/4 inch piping better because it would be a more dynamic look on my cute stocking. But in the 1960s, my parents did upholstery work.
Oh.
I remember them out in the garage, and my dad had the big bellows, and he's bellowing the fire, and they'd heat up the upholstery so they could get it around like the seat or whatever they're working on.
Okay.
And my mom said that I would sit in a little swing above the upholstery machine. Sounds kind of dangerous, right?
Or maybe it would rock you to sleep.
I don't know. The sound of the sewing machine's I've loved it forever, right? So I inherited or was given or whatever you call it, 500 yards of 1/8 inch piping. Yes.
Have you gotten through it yet?
Oh, I've gone through a lot, but not all the way through it. But I remember my goal this week was I prepared for this class.
Yes.
I had to use everything in my stash.
Okay, you weren't buying anything.
I didn't have time to go shopping, man.
Okay.
And I didn't have time to cook.
You ordered out a lot of pizza.
Okay, so now I've got my piping basted onto, or my fabric basted onto my piping.
Okay.
I think this would be darling piping too. I don't know if you can see that up
Yes,
close.
that's gingham.
Yeah, it's
kind
kind
of
of a gingham on the diagonal.
Yeah, that's cute.
So I think that will be really cute on with my little nomies. Okay.
Yeah.
So once I get that done, now I'm going to sew it or baste it again onto the front of my sock. And I'm going to keep my zipper foot still on my machine, and I'm going to keep my needle still in the center. And I baste that on again with a large stitch.
Okay, I'm
Show
turning
me
it-
this
yep,
way.
turn it
You're,
this
you're
way.
in charge of that.
Okay, sorry. I'll be
Yeah.
in charge.
You're in charge of that. Okay.
So you were saying zipper foot with your needle in the center.
Yep.
And you stitch it down. So raw edge to the raw edge of
Mhm.
the, so the piping is on the inside. Yes?
Yeah, just
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Now,
I'm following you.
what's happening on
try
the
it.
edge of my piping is it's turning up. So I'm going to have to ease it in. And where's she?
Yeah, right here. Yep.
There you go. So these are so special scissors that I even keep them hidden from myself. Okay, these are nowhere handy.
What happens if you use them on paper? What's your punishment?
Oh gosh. I'd have to get a real job.
Oh, okay, so I got to see. These are what makes these scissors so special?
Well, they're Kai scissors, but so you're going to need a good pair of sharp scissors. And when you go along, you're just going to take and ease your inner corners and your outer corners. And you're just going to clip it here.
Are you cutting through all the layers?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So then you've got your easing done.
Okay.
And there's your next portion of your sock. Ready?
Okay.
You've taken your good scissors.
Do you do it on the backing fabric too that you've
No,
already quilted, or just
where your piping is?
Okay.
Just where your piping is.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna get this figured out for me, Garla.
Okay.
I've always been intimidated by.
Oh, you're not
piping.
going to do time. It's so simple. You just got to have 500 yards. And,
That's my problem.
and then you're going to do it no matter what. Okay. So now I've got 2 parts of my sock ready. I've got my piping in. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the toe side of my sock. I'm going to sew down about 3 or 4 inches right here. And you ask, why am I going to do that?
Yeah. Why?
I'm going to make this little weird pantaloon.
Yeah. What is it?
Okay. Well, I'm from Florida.
Okay.
And when I start messing with a little tiny hole and I'm trying to work with something, it's like wrestling an alligator.
Oh.
Okay. So I don't know if really I've never wrestled an alligator.
I don't want to try, so let's do it your
But-
way.
So I'm going to partially put my binding on my sock now. I'm going to leave a little space here and I'm going to leave a little space here. But I'm going to sew that binding on the top.
Okay.
And I like to hand stitch my binding. So I've sewed my binding on the front. But if you like to sew your binding with your sewing machine, you can sew it on the back. And the other thing to do is give yourself a little bit of a handicap. So I like to bind my quilts with 2 1/4 or 2 inch binding, but you're going to want 2 1/2.
Okay.
Because when you fold that around, and like I said, you're working in that small hole, you're going to want to have a handicap to help you out there. You want to have So I've sewn my top of my binding across the top, and now it's time to pin our sock together. Okay, I must have been multitasking.
I did. You're amazing.
Look at all these clips.
So the other cool thing that you guys, I'm going to show down here. I don't know if you can see. So with all of these really cool samples that Garla has ready, she has different designs. Can you see this one? This one showed it really well. She's got a bunch of different designs. So you can tell she totally played with all of the different Pro Stitcher designs. So I love that we can get to see all the ones you picked.
Yeah, this is the poinsettia tablescape.
Yeah.
This is holly and berry.
Yeah. And then you've got Christmas trees on this one.
This one is called, I got it written down, Tree Farm.
Oh, cute. Is
That's
that one
a
from Pro Stitcher too?
This is a Pro Stitcher membership
Love
pattern.
that one.
Treescape. And I really, you know how Kay always talks, she's a lazy quilter.
Oh, yes. We love Kay.
Okay, so maybe I was a little lazy quilter too, because I wanted to put the trees on the front of the stocking,
Yeah.
but the stockings were up, down, up, down.
Oh.
So
and the trees are directional.
I could have cut the stockings apart and re-sewed them all the right direction up.
Right.
So, but I wanted to try out this pattern. Okay. I used to be a Kimberly Bell junkie.
Oh,
Is that a
yes.
good thing?
I think so.
Okay.
Any kind of quilting addiction, I agree
Right.
with.
So this is actually,
It's true.
it's true. This pattern here is a Kimberbell pattern that is on sale on Pro Stitcher. It's not a membership pattern, but you can buy it
On Pro Stitcher.
on Pro Stitcher,
Okay.
right? And it's called Snowflake Edge to Edge.
Oh, I like that
And
one.
I have used that on my embroidery machine when I used to do edge to edge on my embroidery machine. All right. Those were like the stone
You
ages.
really did do that edge to edge on
Oh,
your
it was
embroidery machine?
horrible. It was horrible.
You're a saint.
Re-hooping and hooping and hooping.
Yeah. And then when you finally get the throat space, you're like, this is amazing.
Ask Brianne, I cried the first quilt I did, right?
Hopefully they were happy tears.
They were so happy tears.
Okay, good.
Okay, but the only problem when I used that Kimberbell design, I should have done a 2-inch and I only resized it to a 3.5 inch. And I was really disappointed that there were some holes in my socks. So we're going to teach you something new today.
Yes, we'll help with that.
Yeah, you want to pull over that machine and we'll
Okay.
show how we did that. Or I guess you can step over. Anyway,
Well, do you want to finish showing your
No,
samples? Or do you want to do
let's
this now?
do this.
Okay. So
so here I am. I have my fabric quilted on my Amara, and there's a hole. And I don't like it. Actually, there was like 4 holes. And I'm like, okay, I've been to class. I've been there. What is it called? What's it called? What is it called? And I'm flipping through all my manuals. And sure enough, I finally found it. And it is called Crop a Design with Start and End Points. And there's my manual. I copied it out.
I love how you brought your.
It was so exciting. All right, so I'm going to have Shauna, and we're going to teach you how to crop a design with start and end points.
Okay, so we're going to switch over to my screen here. So this is the same design that we had pulled up before. And this is, you know, if we had used it as an edge-to-edge design, and if we did not space our rows, so I'll show you what that means. Like if I do a repeat and I have a couple of vertical repeats, so you can see there's some gaps maybe over here. There's a gap in between. Or if I've increased the gap without realizing that's what I did, I'll bump this up really fast. We'll bump it up to 2. That gives us a big gap in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is if I have gaps on my quilt and I want to come back and fill them in, it's very easy to do that. So I'm going to undo my repeats. So we just have 1. And I'm going to show you how we crop a design. There's a couple of ways to do it, but I prefer to use my machine head. So you can see on the screen, I've got the orange crosshairs that are moving around, and that represents my needle. So wherever my needle is on my project, the screen, so my needle is here. The screen is showing me where that needle is so that I know where I'm working. So we're going to just take this snowflake right at the very beginning, and we're going to crop that to be just 1 snowflake. So it's no longer an edge-to-edge design. It's now going to be just 1 little snowflake that we can put wherever we want on the quilt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move my crosshairs down here. I'm going to go to the Pro Stitcher tab at the top, and then I'm going to go to the new Start and End button that's on the ribbon right underneath that. And then on the right-hand side, I've got a bunch of arrows and the slider bars that can help me move my start and end points. I prefer to use the auto button. So on the right-hand side, we're doing the end point. We're going to move the end point, and I'll select the auto button. And you can see it has brought right under my crosshairs. We're going to jump in, zoom in a little bit for you guys to see better.
And us too.
Yeah, right.
Because you probably want to zoom in so you get that end point exactly where you want it.
Exactly. And so I'm showing you right here. So the end point, you can see there is a little red circle that shows where the design will stop stitching. So I hit the auto button, and I actually have to deselect the auto button so that when I move my crosshairs, that red stop will stay there. But the cool thing is, now that I have it close to where I want it, I can push my arrows on the side of the screen and get it to bump closer. So if I do the arrows right here at the top, it moves a tiny bit at a time. If I do the arrows underneath the slider bar, it moves bigger sections at a time. So you can see I actually went too far because now my endpoint is in the snowflake. So I'm going to jump back, and it's actually going to let me finish right there.
Absolutely.
Which is beautiful. That's what we want. So now we have our endpoint moved, but we still have the rest of the design. Do you know the next step?
Modify crop.
I love you, Garla. You're awesome. Okay,
Yes.
So the Modify tab right at the top, we're going to crop our start and end point. So let me jump out a little bit so you can see the whole design again. So under the Modify tab, we have the Crop button. So I'll select Crop. And then on the right-hand side, there's that little button that says Start End. So if I hit that, it's going to crop anything that is outside my start and end point. So when I select it, oh, I didn't want to do it. Give me a second. We're going to undo. Oh, something I should tell you, when things are not working how you want them to, if you baseline, it works a lot better.
A lot better. In fact, the first 3 months that I had my machine, I had the word baseline on a Post-it note, maybe in 5 places.
I love it. Okay, so it didn't want a baseline. I'm going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to do Pro Stitcher. And this is a good thing to practice, right? So I'm going to come here. I'm going to do my auto deselect. So it has my start and end point where I want it. And I'm going to crop first, and then I'm going to jump it back.
Absolutely.
That way it'll give me a little bit of flexibility. So Modify, tab, the Crop button, and then we're going to crop our start and end point. Oops, sorry. So do you see it's cropped the whole design?
It's magic. It was so magic.
It is magic. So you can see I still have this little tail here. Now we can just step that back a little bit. If I bump my start or my end point, we're keeping the start point right where it is. Oh, too far. Right there. Nope. Go back. Go back. Wrong way. See, can you see how these buttons are so close together that I'm like pushing the
There.
wrong thing?
Yeah, it helps to use lotion on your hands too.
Oh, good plan.
If your touch screen is not happy with you,
I better
especially
get
if
some
you're
lotion.
old, get some lotion.
Or if you're young, you can have lotion too. That's
Okay.
fine. So I'm going to go back to I've got that little tail on the screen that I'm trying to delete. So I've moved my endpoint. We'll go back to the modify tab. I'm still under the crop button. And then the right-hand side of the screen, I'm going to hit start and endpoint again, and it just deletes it for me.
Okay.
So
And
there we go.
Then
Baseline.
right, perfect. And then all I did was I lined up my crosshairs on my fabric exactly where I had a hole, and I stitched it out. And then I moved it to the next place where there was a hole, and I stitched it out.
So you're doing custom quilting with Pro Stitcher.
Absolutely.
At only 7 months along with your
Absolutely.
machine. I'm impressed.
And you know what? Those little 8-year-old children church kids that I have, they're going to really notice that I put the extra effort to add those little snowflakes in where they were missing, right?
I'm sure they
Absolutely. Okay. So we've talked a little bit about the plan of how we constructed the cute stockings. But one thing I want you to know is, we're thread snobs. We are. Quilters are thread snobs.
I will admit it. That's why I'm so excited about the Pick Your Bundle promo, because it's good thread.
But unlike those nice cotton threads we use on our quilts, you really need to use 100% polyester, an old-fashioned Coats and Clark or whatever, because when you're tugging on those little stockings or the bags, you're going to need the strength of the polyester thread.
Mm-hmm.
You're also going to want to lower your stitch length on your domestic machine. I always go 2 or 1.8. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
For a smaller stitch length on your domestic machine.
Right.
Yep.
The color of thread that we did on this stocking was called Warm Gray by Glide, just for your information. Mm-hmm. So,
this is, so you were showing on this one that we had all of your, after you did this step, so to add the top binding, you just clipped it together to sew it. Is that what this is? Okay.
Clip together. Clips are great. They're a great way to do these bigger projects. Or you can pin like I did in the old days. Okay, so then the last step is to sew it together. And then we're going to take my nice scissors again, and we're going to trim close to the seam line, and then we're going to cut off the excess fabric. Okay. And here's my leftover. See, I'm ready to do this binding at the top, but most of it's all ready to go, so I don't have to wrestle the alligator.
Oh, I love that. So this was the question that I had earlier, was asking when you were snipping originally, if you needed to snip the second side, but you snip it at this stage.
Yeah,
got it.
Snip it all out.
Okay.
Okay. So you got it all snipped, and then you can finish the top of your binding. I like to hand stitch. You can add a hook, and you can use ribbon. You can sew it on the outside of your stocking. You can sew it on the inside of your stocking. All right, now you get to do the unveiling. Ooh,
I get it because it's okay. So I can fill the cording in there, which is kind of cool. I've never done it this way because I just assumed that cording was such a hard thing to do.
Oh, wait, you watch.
Did you go to the bottom? I went to the bottom. Is that how you do it?
Yeah,
to the very toe.
Great.
Look at that!
Look at it pop, ladies.
That's
gentlemen,
awesome.
It's a miracle,
I
right?
love that. Yeah. And it's instantly finished.
And it's instantly finished, right?
I'm really going to have to try that. Can I borrow some of your 500 yards?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot of cording.
That's a lot of cording, right? Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So now you have those crisp seams, and now it's time to embellish it. And I was going to show you how I keep my buttons. So,
ooh, Garla, you are serious about your buttons. I just have them in like an old vase on a shelf.
Buttons are fun to collect. I'm getting some heckling in the back
I'm trying not to, because this is amazing.
So I have about 10 of these.
Okay, we got to show your buttons. You keep talking. I'm going to open this up.
So this is my, and it's not really organized inside, but this
are you kidding me?
This is my Christmas button pile. And so she could pick out a little button that she wanted to add to the
that's
stocking.
Adorable.
Did you get the case at the tractor store too?
Is this case from the tractor store too?
Oh, can I say Harbor Freight? Oh, Brianne's not here. I can say anything I want.
Look, there's a little snowman head. You tell me these aren't organized, and this is, I'm not kidding you. I dump all my buttons into just one vase and like call it good to
And
go.
like, there's like little charms.
Oh, I'm so glad you
Whose
brought
old
this.
hands are in that?
Look. This is a tiny little
Yeah.
cookie cutter.
So you can,
Garla.
yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
this is a great way to store your buttons in an inexpensive way. So I have one that's white and black, one that's color, I have one that's whimsical, one that's old fashioned. I have a lot. All right. Okay, how are we doing on time? Very good.
We're doing
That's
great.
great. Okay, let's move on to more magic that Pro Stitcher provides.
Okay, are we done with this one?
We are
Okay.
done. Very fun, right?
Yeah.
So another pattern that's on the membership Pro Stitcher website is called Christmas Timeless Stockings. Where do you want me to be?
Let's
Here?
put it down here.
You're
Down
in
like
charge of
this,
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then we can see. So this one, you can find this direct on the website. So she just printed it out so we have something to kind of refer to,
This
right?
is the directions that come with
Oh,
it.
that come with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
These
Okay.
are the directions.
That's awesome.
And it comes in poinsettia, classic, knitted, mistletoe, and blank.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
So
I love that.
when you pull it up, you're going to pull up the pattern.
It gives you the supplies too. I'm sure like when you go and look at this in your membership patterns,
Yeah.
you'll be able to see it all. But this is very cool. I haven't actually looked at this one specifically, and I'm kind of very impressed.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
You can get it without the membership too.
Oh, of course. Oh, can we? Yeah, we should.
Oh, we should
clarify
say that. Yes, go ahead.
No, you tell.
Oh, you can get this without the membership. Very,
You
very
can
easy.
purchase any membership patterns, and you don't have to be a member.
Yes.
But if you are a member, it's real fun.
And it's a
Okay.
perk of having the membership for sure.
So this is the stocking pulled up without making any adjustments, which is kind of big.
Okay, so this is what it finishes to. Is that what you wrote here?
Yeah, this is what
Okay.
it pops up, 26 by 14.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
All right. So I can lay this so you can see it up close.
Yeah, I like that you put the buttons on too. That's really
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put those buttons on. I used a white thread on a kind of a darker green so that the pattern would pop. Isn't that beautiful? My mom is
Yeah.
in love with it, but she thinks I could get a quilt inside of it for her. What do you think?
Maybe a baby quilt,
Little lap
a
quilt?
lap quilt.
Yeah, so she's thinking that was a great. And then, of course, it's always fun to put a coordinating fabric on the back. And I had just enough fabric to do the piping on this,
I love
barely
it.
enough.
It's got like a silver accent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
That's-
right?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So you really want your stitches to pop
Hmm.
when you use your Pro Stitcher, because that's the feature.
Yeah.
That's the focus
Showing
of
the
this
stitching.
stock, is showing that beautiful, beautiful sewing pattern. And this one's called mistletoe.
Yeah, I like that one.
Right.
And so, and it has these two different.
It could
It
just,
comes this way.
it just stitches out like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's like pull the pattern up, push the go button. That's all it takes. And what a great way to use leftover batting,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so I thought this one was kind of big. So then I redid it again. And this time I did poinsettia.
Okay.
And we'll lay that down here so she can see the difference in size. And I did a darker red fabric. I'm a traditional Christmas girl.
Mm.
I know there's pinks and aqua blues out there now, but I'm more traditional.
Yes.
But then I added some sequins and I added some pearl snowflakes. And the way I did that is I just bar tacked it on there with a button.
I
Stitch.
love that.
Very cute. And I added the coordinating fabric that went with the back.
Yeah, that's cute.
And that's the poinsettia. Okay, but I'm thinking these are kind of skinny. These are little
A
on
little.
the narrow side. So I thought this might be a time when you're resizing that you don't hit that lock button.
Yes.
So this
Yep.
one is, where's my notes? This one is 20 by 10.5.
Okay. The smaller one.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, 20, I really like the length of this 20, but maybe because I have fatter calves or something, maybe I wanted my stocking a little chunkier, or maybe because I put bigger presents down in my stockings, that maybe I wanted my stocking a little chunkier.
Yeah.
So maybe I would have done it the 20, and instead of 10.5, maybe I would have gone to 12.
Okay. Yeah.
And so instead of putting the lock on there, I would have adjusted it that way. Okay.
So
that's an idea.
what she's
wanna show that?
referring to is the aspect ratio
Yeah.
when you bring in a design to pro stitcher. I can show you really fast.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
Pull it up.
actually, if you're gonna do one of the other stockings, I'll show when we do that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll
It'll be because then we'll have something like on the screen to show you easier. So yeah.
All right. So the other two patterns are called classic, which is kind of a crosshatch, knitted starling,
Yeah, that
and
way
then
cute.
blank. And then I thought, whoa, you could do a blank one, and then you could do free motion. Not me. I'm a pro stitcher girl all the way. And
Well, we'll get you there. Free motion
Yes.
is so fun.
I'm too much of a perfectionist. I'm gonna try
You
it.
know,
though.
you know the saying though, if you can't see your mistake when you're riding by on a galloping horse,
Okay.
then it's not a mistake.
Okay.
fine.
Perfect.
It's a design
Okay,
element.
Very good. All right. So the next thing I want to show you today is another Pro Stitcher pattern that's on the membership. That's a bundle. It's called the Mini Stocking Patterns. And there's stars, argyle, hearts, Baltimore, and peppermint stick. And this is again the instructions that come with it.
So tell me how this is different than the first one.
Okay, let's show them. Yeah, let's show them for sure. Okay, so on the first stocking, you get only 1/2 of the stocking.
Mm-hmm.
Can you show her the?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can see when you get this, they actually have the both halves together.
Yes.
So limits a little bit of the
No
work you have to do.
piping.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I'm sure if you want to do, we could
You
cut
can
it up
cut
and
it
put
in
the
half
piping in.
and add the piping. Okay, but so this is your time. These small projects. This is your time to start playing, right? So one thing that I wanted to do was play with metallic thread. And the woman that used to do my long arming, no metallic thread.
Nope.
She would not let me do metallic thread. I begged her. I says, come on, do some metallic thread for me. I want this quilt to sparkle. No, there was no way. She wasn't going to do it.
Do you know why? I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Do you
tell us.
know?
I don't know why, because I used it and didn't have any trouble.
So a lot of times when quilters are quilting, like for clients, they take it on it for hire. They have very set thread that they use. And I know some of you, like if you have other thread opinions, like drop them in the comments, let me know. But when you're doing so many quilts and you got to get them done quickly because you have people waiting, they don't branch out into other threads where you have to change your tension. So, and with metallic thread, you do have to play with your tension. But I tell people all the time, when you get a long arm, you have to be willing to change your tension, and you got to change play with the thread, change your thread and play with it so that you can play with metallic and get a cool metallic looking quilt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was at Academy, and there's that Superior Thread little store. And I walked up there, and there was that military gold metallic thread. And I'm like, I want it, but I want it. So I bought it. And so I have this beautiful thread. And I'm like, okay, this is a project to do it on. If I screw up, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I didn't want any handicaps.
Okay.
No handicaps. So
okay.
The first thing I did is I cleaned my machine well. And this is a USB air duster. And Loretta Morris taught us about these. And this is a life changer.
Loretta's one of our other national educators,
Yes,
right?
thank you.
We love Loretta. Shout out to Loretta if she's watching. Yep.
Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about this air duster. It doesn't create any moisture, and if you have a machine that you can dust like your bobbin area, which Amara you can. I don't think a Moxie you can get in there and blow because it doesn't have that baffle.
Right. So so when you have a backing behind your bobbin case, you can dust with air. Yes.
But this is great for dusting off your table, those little blue strips. It can dust your light fixture. It can dust under your cupboards.
Look at your spider webs while you're at it.
Yes. And this morning, my hair dryer broke. Did you? I dropped my hair with it. Serious, guys. And they're like $20.
Yeah. How long does the battery last?
A good, I'd say a half hour. Yeah,
That's a lot of
because
blood
I'm
drawing.
dusting everything. But it was a game changer. Loretta changed my life with this
Yeah.
because how much is a can of air now?
I don't even know. But I will tell you, like, it's so important that you dust out your machine, especially when you're trying something new, because you want to be, sometimes when lint gets caught in places on the machine, it can mess up your tension. And it can make it so if it's on your rails, on your track, on where the carriage runs, it can mess up tension too, or like bump the design out. So it's very important you clean your machine in between each project.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this week I even had an encoder error and a little string had got caught down in there. But guess what?
What?
I had followed Patty Sliney so much that I knew exactly what the trouble was.
Yes.
I'd read so many Facebook postings. I was just, whew, I can handle that.
Don't you love that? Patty's on all of the Facebook groups that she's one of our other national educators, and she's incredible.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's a great place to learn. So I knew that I had to have my machine really clean before I started the metallic thread. I knew there was going to be a little bit of tension adjustment. I knew that I was going to go through only 2 of the barber pole or the pre-tensioner 3-hold. I only went through 2.
So I'm going to point here so you can see. So here on our, now let me scoot this over just a little bit. Is that better? So right here, this is what she's talking about. When you're threading your machine, if you're using something different that you're trying to play with the tension, you only go through 2 of these holes instead of all 3 of these holes. And that helps you play with the tension a little bit. It still needs to go through this clip. It still needs to come through up here. So the thread comes from the cone up to the top and then through this clip. But you can play how many holes you have it go through here.
I'm going to be handicapped here.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that problem. Yeah.
Good eye.
Okay. So I did all the right steps. I turned on my machine. I did my first sock. Sewed like butter. It was perfect.
Here, let's hold it down here.
Okay, let me warn you about these socks. Okay, this is twice the size as they come.
They come tiny then.
Yes, I think they're ornaments.
Oh, that makes sense.
They're designed for ornaments. So this
I'll
is
turn it here too if that's easier to see on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is argyle, and I love that gold thread on there.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's argyle, and that stocking is, let me tell you how, it's 8 inches.
This way?
It's 8 inches tall.
Okay.
Okay, so that's argyle. And then the next one I made was the red sock.
Okay.
Okay, and that's hearts. It's a little bit harder to see the hearts.
With the gold
Right.
on the yeah.
And technically the directions show that you're supposed to turn your cuff down like this.
I see. Okay.
You can turn it down like this. But I loved adding the contrast to the top.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
cute.
a tag on this one. Who said 2?
Oh.
Oh, took Garla from a handy quilter. What do I want in this sock?
You better put some batting scissors in there. Oh, no, wait. You said purple bobbin.
Purple bobbin. Purple bobbins.
Purple bobbins.
Purple bobbins. So that's the star pattern.
That
And
one's
then
cute too.
this one is my husband's favorite. It's on white.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
really elegant.
that one's called Baltimore.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, and then I just took and bar tacked a little cute button on the top of it.
Yeah, that's
But
really cute.
people, I don't know if you can see how beautiful. Look
Oh,
how
on the back,
beautiful the
too.
tension is.
Yes.
Oh, it's perfect.
So tell me what thread you had in your bobbin, because you did metallic on top.
Bottom line
Bottom line. Okay.
and kind of a cream colored, maybe a little tinge of yellow to
Yeah.
it.
Perfect.
Yeah, but tension was easy peasy.
So when anyone is trying something new like this, I always recommend that you check your bobbin tension first.
Absolutely.
Yes. So if you're doing bottom line, if you always use bottom line, still check it. You want to have a good, strong foundation when you're doing tension with changing thread. So you did perfect. Yeah. Doing your bottom line
Yeah.
on the inside. That's beautiful.
Okay, let's be honest though. My Rosie, I think, is a goat.
I'm okay with that. I agree. Amaras really are the greatest of all time.
Because no matter what I feed her, she just keeps stitching and producing, and the tension's beautiful. And she just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go to the machine.
Okay.
And I want to pull up should we do this pattern?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Let's
Because you've
do-
got a pretty red thread on
Let's do Baltimore.
here. Okay.
And let's pull up this sock. And let's see. I'm going to give Shauna a challenge.
Okay. I love a challenge. Tell
Okay.
me.
So on the sock, it has like a little decorative line
Wait,
here.
hold it down here so we can see.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Okay.
So-
See the line there?
This line here.
Yes.
Okay.
And on our fabric that I've got made over here,
Mm-hmm.
it's also got a line in it.
So
do you want us on this side or this side?
we'll be right here. This is perfect.
Where it is perfect. Okay. So then it's got a line on there as well.
Actually, I'm gonna.
Oh.
Better. I'm moving on you.
It's already stitched down.
No, yeah,
no,
I'm
we're
moving on ya.
loose. So
There we
one
go.
thing I did is because I had that white sock made,
Oh.
I decided I'd photocopy it real quick because I wanted a little bit more complicated sock this time. So I had this leftover cute Nordic cabin fabric line, and I wanted to have it about the right size. So I copied my sock and then I designed the fabric to match the sock.
I love it.
Okay, so now I'm giving you the goal of lining up that red
Okay.
to make it look cute.
Okay.
That's
And
your only
so
goal.
This, and we're doing this stitch pattern. Is that
It's up
correct?
to you.
Okay.
You get
You're
to
letting
pick.
me pick. I get to have creative.
That's
We're-
right.
That's right. Now, remember what Garla said at the beginning. This is a craft. It's not a quilt.
This
so
is not a quilt.
We are not worrying about 1/4 inch seams. We're not worrying about, I don't know, all the things us quilters worry about. Okay, so
I mean, we may want to practice a little bit to make sure that our tension's not really wacky.
which is always a good, if we have enough space, I can do that really fast. Do we have enough room? I can do a little bit of a tension
well, here you
test.
go.
Well, I
Here we
mean,
go.
Okay, so
We got a lot of
I'm
room.
just gonna do a tension
Across the
test right
top.
up here at the top
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we've got a little bit of room up here.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna pull my needle, do my needle down,
Are we
needle
going to
up.
want to baste that fabric on there?
I actually don't want to.
Okay, we're not going to baste it on there.
Mostly because you're going to think I'm crazy, but you've
Okay,
given
we're
me
learning.
this challenge. Because yes, we always talk baste, right? When you're doing a project, you want to baste.
Baste.
I'm going to be a little bit tricky here. So because you told me you wanted my challenge to be to have this red lined up, right? So I'm actually going to kind of play a little bit that if I don't baste it down completely, I can pivot it a little bit.
Ah,
I can move the project, and on Pro Stitcher, I can move it. I can move the design.
absolutely, right.
So the only reason that I'm wanting to move this project here, if I need to tweak it, is sometimes when you rotate things, if you're not watching where you're pushing your buttons, like if I don't have things locked when I rotate, like it can change the shape. That's the only reason I'm doing it that way. So
okay.
I love a challenge. Thank you. Thanks for giving me something to think about. So I've got my bottom thread pulled up. I'm just going to do a quick, just a quick stitch. That actually looks really good. So when you're doing, so when we're testing tension, I'm right in the middle of the quilt. You can see that I'm like where I decided to do my testing is at the very top and at the very middle of the project. And this is actually a tough spot to lean under and check your tension. So the one trick that I like to do is I use my fingernail and I feel underneath. So when you have like your quilt project, where the stitch path is, I use my fingernail and I scratch underneath. And if you hear it go tick, 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 then your tension is off. You don't want to hear a tick when you scratch your fingernail along it. You want it to just kind of sit underneath. So I'm still going to have to climb down under here to do it, but I'm not feeling a tick and I'm not hearing a tick. And so I know my tension's good.
I'm not hearing the tick either.
Yep. So we're good to go.
Like I could hear a tick.
Let's listen. No. Okay. So we have the designs already pulled up. If you have the designs and you're doing Pro Stitcher Connect, you can actually pull them in that way. Where's my scissors here? There. Reach. There we go. I'm cleaning up my threads as we go, just so I have.
You can throw them in my basket over.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so you can see I can still kind of pivot my project if I need to, but I'm held down here. So I have a little bit of flexibility. Now, are you going to tell me, or do I have to guess? I don't want to mess up the game. We're playing reindeer games here.
Okay. 12.57.
Okay.
12.57 is the height of your stocking.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit file on my Pro Stitcher screen, file, design, open. So she already has the mini stocking for Baltimore. You can see these are designs that I've opened previously.
Mhm.
And so is that the one we're doing, Baltimore?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
okay.
it.
I couldn't remember. Sorry.
So
So I can just open that.
yeah, I gave her a dimension, but she could also take her needle and move it around and make an area.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows how big her fabric is,
Yep.
and she could do the maximum.
Yes.
You could.
Do you want to let's have you do it that way? Do you want
Oh
to do it that way?
gosh, here we go.
Come on,
She's gonna
Garla.
make me
Okay,
work.
I am. I'm gonna clear this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to do the basting because you brought it up? If you want to baste it, let's do it your way.
I don't care.
Okay.
We're gonna have fun here.
I'm happy however you want to do
Okay,
it.
so I've got my fabric made, and I want to get the maximum stocking I can get out of here, but I also have a goal to make that cute line up with my red fabric. So I'm going to go to the area, and I'm going to do a multi-point instead of a 2-point, so I have a more exact. Did that click?
Yes, so the
Okay,
sound's
it's
turned
no-
off on
okay,
it
no
while we're filming. Yeah. So
All this-
normally we do have sound, but you can, for the people that are watching, you can see the words that are in the top right of the screen that fall every time she clicks a button.
Okay, I've come up with a new problem.
Oh, tell me.
What size is my Amara at home?
I don't know.
24.
Oh, are you a 24?
I'm a 24. And what size Amara is this?
This is a 20.
So guess
But this
what?
is my sweet spot. I love my Amara 20.
Okay, well, but we might have to make our stocking a little smaller. So it's probably a good thing that we've made the area so we don't have any.
I love that.
I hope that area. There it is.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we're going to file and design
Mm-hmm.
and pull in the Baltimore stocking.
Oh, you're right. That is tiny.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Yeah, that is.
And
Okay.
then we can go into repeat, and we could go fill. Oh gosh. No, we can't.
That's
Undo.
okay. So let me tell you what you're doing is the right steps
Resize.
for but
I didn't know an edge to. I thought it was an edge to edge would only do that. So now I've learned something new.
yes, it's funny though because when you try to repeat designs that are just for blocks, you'll have really big jumps. So
Okay. So I go to resize.
yes.
Is there a trick?
Well, the number you gave me, is that for the height or the width?
It was the width, the height.
The
was
height?
12
Okay.
and a half, but we're not going to make it because we have a smaller throat space.
We can still do 12 and a half on the 20.
We could.
Mhm.
We might have to roll it forward, or we might have to pull our fabric up. We'll
So
find out.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it how you want. And then I'm going to show you do you ever use your quilting space button? I'm going to show you about
Yeah,
that.
quilting space. That's
That's-
awesome.
That's the fastest way to set it up. So I'm going to show you, I'm
new
going to
trick.
move my machine head to the top left of my project. I'm going off of my project. And this is so that I can set up my quilting space. So on my screen, under the area tab, there's something here called quilting space. And it's very similar to setting up an area, but it's actually, it's what tells you where you are actually quilting inside of the frame. So I'm going to hit quilting space and it drops 1 point. Then I move my machine head down over here to the bottom right off of the project. And on the screen, I hit the quilting space button again. And then that gives me this black area that tells me anything inside of this black area the machine can stitch out. So after we have this stocking sized how we want it to be, we can check to make sure that it fits in that quilting space.
That's right.
So do you want me to keep going?
Yeah,
I can go ahead and
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have our design selected. I'll go to the modify tab and I'm going to resize it. We're going to do it by height. Right now it's set at 8 inches. And you said it was 12, was it 12 and a half?
Yeah, but we're going to want to lock this one.
Yes. So I'm going to select the height
Mhm.
and then the button directly above is the lock. And the lock tells you that it'll change the height and the width at the same time proportionally.
Correct.
Perfect.
Because unless you want a long skinny stocking,
Which is what you did with the other ones. And
that's the way they came.
well, but you said you were going to bump it bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go 12.5, you said?
Let's see if it'll fit.
Perfect. Now, to make it fit in the area, just to see if it's going to fit, I'm going to do a line. And then here on the right-hand side, there's a button for centering. So it's centering it right in the area. So it will fit. The trick is going to be if we can get it on the red line like you want. Yes. So I can tell, I'm going to zoom in here. The start point is actually at the very bottom of that, sashing, I guess. What would you call this
The
channel
red
right
line.
here? The red line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my crosshairs to the red line where I want to start. And I know that my crosshairs are going to be the bottom of the line. And then I can actually reposition to my start point. Start point. There we go.
There we go.
And that's telling me it's actually just outside of the area. Do you see how it comes out on the right side of that pink area? So I've
Yes.
put it over too far, but I can move my needle over here and see if I can give myself a little bit more space. So then I'll hit on the screen, I'm going to hit start point again, and I'll bump it over. So I can look, now I can check using my crosshairs. If I move my needle to the bottom left side of my project, I can see that I'm where my crosshairs are, that's where my needle is, right? So I know that I'm far enough over that the stocking will still fit.
We have plenty space there.
Right. So the only thing is down here at the bottom.
We're getting awfully tight.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not rotate, advance.
She's going to rotate.
I'm going to rotate. We'll do a circle here. So
You
I'm
might
just
need
going to advance not very far. I'm just going to go just a couple of clicks up and pop it back down.
Cool.
And then we'll be able to fit it. But I do need to reposition my area. So I'm going to make a new area. Okay. So I'm going to go back to area and I'm going to hit on the right hand side, I'm going to hit clear. And that gets rid of my area, but my design is still there, which is right where we want it.
Absolutely. You can bring in your design first before you make your area, or you can bring your design second after you make your area. Doesn't matter which.
Perfect. Right there. I'm trying to make sure I'm like right in line with the fabric. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to bring our screen back to the area better. You can see the stocking still shows here, but it's no longer in line with our red line on the project. So again, I'm going to move my machine head, put it here where the red fabric is, where I want to line things up. And then I'll do modify, reposition, and then on the right-hand side, I'll select start point. And that bumps it up. So I know it's going to start at the bottom of the red. So let's double check here. This is the edge of my fabric, and on my screen, I see that I have enough space between the crosshairs and the edge of the stocking. And then we'll check it over here on this side just to be sure. And we're good over there. And I have my black area on my screen that shows me the quilting space. So I know it'll stitch out just fine.
And we have plenty going this way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're perfect here.
Yep, perfect going back. Now, this is where I was telling you that I wasn't basting it down for a reason. So I'll show you. If I zoom back into my area,
okay.
I'm going to put my crosshairs on this line that we're trying to line up with the red. And I'm going to watch the screen while I move my machine across.
Are we going to zoom it in a little bit?
No, I'm going to keep it big
Okay.
so I can kind of keep track of where I'm at with the whole project.
Okay.
So I'm starting here, and then I'm going to move. And as I move, I'm keeping my crosshairs on that same horizontal line. And I'm looking at this red line here. And I'm actually pretty close. I can see that this red fabric is shifting up just a smidge. So there, I have two options there. I can either reposition this by pulling it down just a little bit.
Simple.
Or I can, on the screen, I can rotate the design. But rotating it, I try to avoid it because I know I'm going to get a really good straight line if I keep it right where it is, where it populated.
Right.
Yeah.
We love it.
So I just keep going, and that's off the quilt there. So I'm pretty happy with
I'm happy too.
where that's at. So now that I know I have this red line where I want it, I'm going to do a quick baste on the sides.
Okay.
So baste here on my screen. I like to do needle down, needle up, pull up your bobbin thread.
What foot is on your?
Well, we have the glide foot on.
So the glide foot is one that I recommend every quilter should have. It's great for doing a lot of edge to edge quilting. It's also really good if you have a quilt that has really thick seams. It'll jump over those seams really well. I also love on my Amara that it has that tie off button. This morning we talked about the different families of machines that we have.
Where's the tie off button?
So on the handlebar, we
Ooh,
have
something new.
we might have to set it up on your machine. So the cool thing about these handlebars is they are programmable.
So you can do a tie off on your handlebar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
I'm excited.
I'll show you on this side again. I'll make sure. Hold on, I got to get my filming cable out of the way. Okay. Right here, we're going to baste down this side, and then I'll show you the tie off. So I like to hold on to my tail threads as I start basting or stitching, just so that I keep them out of the way. And this little movement that I do with my hands is just so that I can keep this fabric pulled back and I can keep the fabric pulled all the way to the left. It's just something that I do. It's my own personal thing, but I find it helps me keep a nice straight edge on this side. Okay, so now that we're done with our basting stitch, here on the left-hand side, I have it pre-programmed that this star button, these two star, the star on this side and the diamond on this side, these are actually programmable. So when I push this star button, you push it and it'll do the tie-offs for you.
Only when you're in the basting?
No,
or all the time?
all the time. Whenever you are driving.
But not when you're in area.
Oh, great question. Okay, so Garla's bringing up an excellent point. When I'll show you on the screen, when we are in area, if I'm doing a 2-corner and I use my handlebar star to push 2-corner, like if I do this, it resets my area. But it's because if you look at the screen, you can see that the 2-corner button right there has the same star shape as the handlebar. And so when you're on this screen, anytime you push that star button, it will actually do an area instead of what you have it pre-programmed to do.
Okay.
So great question. I'm going to hit undo so we can get our area back up. Oh, wait, wrong button. There we go. Now we're back to where we need to be. Do we want to try stitching this out?
Yeah, let's stitch for a minute. Let's see where it goes.
See if I got it right.
Just for a minute.
I am going to double check my alignment though, because
kicks and giggles.
Well, I hit the button to change the area.
Too many buttons.
I did. I'm a button pusher. Okay, I'm going to bring this over to my, on my red strip that we're working on, right? Yes. And I'm looking at my screen for where my crosshairs are lined up. And so I'm happy with where we are. Everything's where we want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to undo my base stitch. So when I start stitching, it'll be good stitches. Right. But I'm going to baseline because we've made a lot of changes.
Okay. Anytime, even if you don't make any changes. So when I, pulled up those big stockings.
Yes.
Still baseline.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if you don't make any changes. Always baseline.
Baseline is your best friend.
Basically, if the baseline is black, make it gray.
Yes. Before you do any stitching.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to the Pro Stitcher tab and I'm going to tell it to quilt. Sometimes we get this question. It's kind of hard to see my run button because it's behind our little label there. But we have a run button in the bottom left screen of Pro Stitcher. And when it's grayed out like that, it means that we are not in the quilting button.
You got to push the quilt.
Yes. So here at the top, the quilt button. Now my run button is ready to go. So I can hit run. It always pops up with a window that shows you all of your settings. And I just say, go ahead and proceed. It's going to get me set up and good to go. It pulls up the bobbin thread for me. And I like to hold on to both of those while it starts stitching. So this is set up on a pause delay. Do you do this on yours?
I do not. I play thread chicken.
You do? So pause delay means the machine is going to pause when it's far enough away from where you started so that you can snip your threads.
Yeah.
And then you can tell it to resume. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's a personal preference.
That's my video game portion.
Is that? You're trying to snip the thread.
Snip the thread while it's running.
I love it.
It's looking good.
So Garla, when you got your machine, what was the first project you did on it?
I did a baby quilt. And one of the things that I didn't really like about my long armor is because sometimes I wanted things denser.
Oh.
Okay, so I pulled that baby quilt on and I made it so dense, it was like cardboard.
But you got it as dense as you wanted it.
I learned maybe I didn't like as dense as I thought, but it was a good practice. And that quilt is still in the cupboard. I probably need to wash it 3 or 4 times before I
So
give
you
it
can
away.
soften it up a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
I love that.
but it was really a game changer because I had made stockings before, and I had taken and drawn, crosshatch lines to quilt them.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like
So
magic,
easy.
right?
Yep. It just does it right for you.
One of the things that we didn't talk about was the handy quilter invisible pencils.
Here, hold it down here while it's stitching. They can see.
Okay.
So just right up here. So these pencils that we have, do you use this one a lot?
Yeah. This is great for even domestic sewing. And I use it to mark a few things on my, like the 1.5 inch in or something, and I've marked it, and then it just irons right off.
Oh, it's telling me a pause delay because it's going to the next start point. So I'm just going to hit resume.
Look at that. It's perfect.
It really did. So it's hard to see on screen, but we really do have it lined up right on the red.
Yeah.
We did really good.
Very well done. And so again, this is scraps, but you didn't need to use scraps because the other stockings that I made, I just put plain fabric on.
Yep. Just loaded a big piece of yardage. Yeah, but this is a great way to use up scraps, especially if it's like a jelly roll or something.
Oh yeah, if you have a few jelly roll strips left over.
Just make your own piece of fabric and put it down.
Another idea would be that you can make a collage. It doesn't have to be stripped.
Like crumb piecing or whatever.
Just roll fabric together. Yeah, all different sizes. Yeah.
Okay, while this is running, I'm going to remind you guys, we are doing a giveaway for those that have jumped on. We're doing a giveaway for $50 to the Handy Quilter website. So you have to do in the comments, type down, you have to do hashtag HQ Rudolph. Sorry, no spaces. We'll start at the beginning. Hashtag HQ RUDOLPH, Rudolph. So that's for a $50 gift card. We're going to do that drawing at the end today. And we are doing a trade up. So we have a system offer. That's the word, offer going right now, where we will take your old machine. If you want to trade in, we will take your machine. We will even take machines that are not our brand. So if you want to try out our Handy Quilter machines, give us a call. There is a phone number on the screen that you can call that number and you can tell us, hey, I'm interested. Can I get a quote? You don't have to buy. You can just call us and ask for like what it would cost. We also, when you are buying a machine or upgrading your machine, we are going to do a bundle promo right now that if you buy a machine, you can choose from 3 different options.
Oh, such hard choices.
I know. You can choose a highlight, which you can see right here. It's kind of up at the top of the screen, but this is our highlight. This one is integrated into this frame. But if you have an older frame and you want to highlight, we have those available as well. So that's the first option for your promo, your bundle. The second bundle is actually a thread and batting bundle, and that's superior threads and American, I always say it wrong, American fabric batting. Oh, heritage? You got it, heritage. Good thing you're listening. So that batting though, it's 25 yards of batting on a roll, and you get a roll of batting, and then you're getting a bunch of different thread, and you can actually get pre-wound bobbins in that bundle too. And then the third promotion that we're doing is Pro Stitcher Designs. So you can do, it's $500 of designs on the Pro Stitcher website. So if you already have the Pro Stitcher membership, the things that we've been showing you, a lot of them would be included. But if you, there's a lot of designs on there that aren't included in the membership that you're going to be able to get for free for doing a Pro Stitcher Designs bundle.
And keep posting those cute patterns on social media for us.
I love seeing what everyone shares, the stuff that they're doing through Pro Stitcher.
We'd love to see them stitch out, because sometimes it's hard to imagine what that little tiny picture will stitch out looking like.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just a little, this is like a little random hint. whenever I'm trying to post pictures of like a specific quilting pattern, you always want to get some good side light coming in. Do you do that when you take pictures of finished quilts?
I'm terrible.
We're going to help you, Garla.
I need help.
All
I
you
need
do,
help.
do you have a nice big window in your living room?
Yes.
Okay,
I do.
all you do, you take a quilt,
Okay.
you put it on the floor in your living room, and make sure the lights are turned off up above.
Okay.
So you get the side light in from the window. It's going to make your quilting pop. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
All
That's a
right.
tip for any of you out there. You want
And
good
you live
side light.
south of me, right?
No,
I'm in South Jordan.
No, I'm here. I'm north of you. I'm here
Oh,
local.
you're still here local
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So I still get good
Ooh.
lighting. I've got a nice big window in my living room too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So-
like to take them outside sometimes.
Oh, you can get some really good shots
Yes.
outside too. Yeah.
That gives me a better picture.
Yeah. So I have to know, as you were making all of these samples for us today, how many stockings did you end up making? Have you counted?
24 stockings.
24.
24 stockings.
Wow. And I love that you had them in every single stage of the process, because for someone like me who has never ever done cording, is that what it's called? Cording?
Cording or piping.
Cording or piping. I've never done that. And it's always intimidated me. And I'm pretty sure I could do it now.
Piping is simple. And we can use these stockings now to put our gifts in.
Yep.
Whatever for my handy quilter friends. Right?
Yep.
Back there. Handy quilter friends.
I think the thing, so you said that these stockings, when they come in, they're really tiny, right?
Oh, these.
I think, yeah, these ones, the one that we're working on right now.
Now are ornaments.
But I realized when you said gifts, you could actually put a gift card in it and give the
you
stocking with a gift
could.
card. That would be super
You
cute.
could.
Yeah.
But turning them right side out, all you. You wrestle the alligator. I'm going to pass.
I'm going to get some needle nose pliers and just like grab
There
the
you
toe and
go.
pull them out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's stitching beautiful.
The other cool thing about this design, you can see on the edges that it gives you your seam allowance. So on that screen there, you can see the outside, it has an outside extra shape of the stocking. That is supposed to be your seam allowance. So that's where you trim and where where you can cut your corners. To
However,
curve them.
we blew the stocking up, so our seam allowance got a little larger.
Yes.
It did.
Yeah.
But that's okay because it's a craft.
It is a craft, and we're not going to be 1/4-inch seams.
And the other thing is, the stitch line is on the inside of the stocking. So all you have to do is take your domestic machine and follow that line.
Yep.
You can do it.
Problem solved.
Yes.
Okay. Someone is asking what speed we would recommend a project like this. So I kind of feel like speed is a little bit of a personal preference. Right now we have this one set to 62. I generally don't go a lot faster. The only time I go really fast with my speed is if I'm stitching a design that is all circles or all, because if it has to go into a point, the machine slows down automatically so it can get a good point and then come back out. So I don't really go very high. However, I do know some of our educators like to run at like 90% speed. So it is a thing you can do.
I've never been over 50.
You're always at 50. Okay.
I'm 50 or under.
Yeah.
That's probably why my Amara stitch is so beautiful. I run her slow.
You run her slow, yeah. You can run them fast too, though. It's mostly a personal preference.
Okay, so let's ask you another question.
Yeah.
What is this speed up? So if I go up here and go into my sewing machine, what speed is this 150?
So you're in cruise. So this is kind of giving you a number that relates to the motor of the machine. So
is it running at 150 as well as the 60? Are both of those numbers part of the speed?
They're two different things. So the 60 speed percent is for Pro Stitcher specifically.
Okay.
The Pro Stitcher is going to run the software at 60% so that you can get, stitches done at 60%.
Okay.
The number that you have on your window console that you have pulled up now, that one is specific for your cruise stitching mode that you're in. So when you're in cruise, Kim and I actually talked about this morning, that she's in cruise. She likes to be between 150 and I think she said 250. I'm going to have to ask her again. But that is telling you the speed of the motor. of the
So
machine.
If I turn that lower right now, would that affect?
I
how
wouldn't
fast
change.
No, I mean, if I
Oh.
would have changed it,
Not while it's running.
not while it's running, but before I had started, would my machine be running lower if I had turned that down?
It slows the machine down. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But it's just two different ways of doing it, right? One is talking about the motor of the machine. One is talking about the software of the machine.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a great question. On the screen, you can also see we have, oh, you're going to delete it for me. It's okay.
want
We
me to
have,
pull
no,
that
it's okay. We have all the other options that you can change your modes there too. So
Oh,
yeah.
Should we pull that
Well,
back
so
up?
that, just to kind of help compare, this window that's popped up, that's our window console. That's the same thing that we have on the Moxie that we played with this morning. They have a window console that's direct on the Moxie, but it's that's if you don't have Pro Stitcher. So this is the same thing that's on the Moxie, but this is for the Amara, right? And so this helps you adjust your needle up, needle down position.
Okay.
You can adjust your speed percentage. You can do manual mode or regulated stitch mode.
And your lighting.
Your lighting is all here.
Yeah.
You can actually, the thing I love about the Amara family is there's a bobbin estimator. You use your bobbin estimator.
No, I haven't learned how to do that yet.
Okay, we'll have to play with that. So
that would be a good class.
yeah, the bobbin estimator will actually tell you, you do have to like pre-program it, and you can say, all right, I'm going to run a bobbin with the bottom line thread from Superior Threads, and I will see how long it goes, and I'll be recording the speed, or like not the speed, but recording the time that I use that bobbin.
Okay.
And when the bobbin runs out, you tell it to stop recording. And then from then on, you can say I'm using bottom line thread, and the machine will tell you when you're getting close to running out.
Very nice.
Yeah. So you can set up a bobbin alarm. Not a lot of people know about that one. And not everyone uses it either. Some people like to play thread chicken and just get really close to the end of the bobbin without the machine telling them it'll run out.
But it gives you an alarm when the thread runs out.
If you have it set up, yes. You do have
Okay.
to set it up.
Okay.
But once you have it set up,
Do
it's good to go.
you change your bobbin before it runs out?
Yeah, it can give you a warning before
Okay.
it runs out. Yeah, just hit resume again. So these are the thing the machine is doing right now are all the tiny little stops and starts in between the very end. If you have a large, sorry, let me close this window so we can, there we go. If you have a large jump, you can actually change your presets for jumps too. Do you have yours set big or small?
Depends on what I'm doing. If
Okay.
I'm doing like custom
Mm-hmm.
and I'm working in a small place, I'll turn it to 0.
Okay.
And if I'm doing an edge to edge, I have it at, I think, 6.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's about what I do too. I like to have it a bigger jump when I'm doing edge to edge.
Yes.
Yeah. So, because
We're
then I
almost
can,
done.
yeah, we're really close.
We are almost done.
So if you look, yeah, on the screen, you can see it shows where we've already stitched is all the yellow, and where we still need to stitch is the black. So you can stand here and watch it while it's stitching. A lot of times I'm like, okay, the machine is running. I'm going to go and, start dinner or whatever it is I need to do. But then half the time I end up standing there just watching the machine because it's so intriguing
It is.
and very satisfying.
It is really satisfying, especially when your tension's good.
Yep.
You've picked the right color thread. It's the way you want it to look. Things have lined up.
It's beautiful.
Voila. And this will be a cute stocking. I noticed that when we came in, Lily says, oh, I like that gray and white.
Yeah.
So everybody has a motif that they like.
Yep.
It's easier for me to stitch on things that I like,
Yes.
color, than other people's colors.
Yep. If you don't love it, it's harder to finish. That's for sure.
Right. Does anybody have any questions about?
Oh, yes. Please let us know. Questions coming in while we're finishing stitching.
Yeah.
If we have any, we can answer for you.
What size needle are we using?
We're using an 18, but the needle size depends on the thread.
Right.
So if you change your thread, you should double check and change your needle size. So
Right.
it's a great question. What other questions do we have? I see we shared the stocking pattern on the Pro Stitcher website, so you guys can find it there, which is great. How big can these be resized to? Great question. You can resize them to as big as your throat space.
Oh no, you could go beyond your throat space. You would just have to keep it
You'd have
dancing
to-
back and forth
yes.
and back and forth and back and forth.
That's true.
That would drive you nuts.
It probably would drive me nuts. But you can also rotate it too, because the first stockings you did were just
Yeah.
one piece.
Right.
So if you
Or
wanted a really,
they
really
were
long
this
stocking,
direction, they were
yeah.
like this, and you can make a bigger stocking.
Yep,
this
you could
way.
rotate it.
Yeah.
When those ones open up, when you open them up, do they go sideways or do they go?
They all come up sideways.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And our design is done. So I pull the machine away. I pick up the thread with my finger. This is how I pull up my bobbin thread every time. I come to the position where we finish stitching. I do the needle down, needle up, and then I pull away. And that's my bobbin thread and my top thread right there. We can snip it, and there's our project. All finished.
Well, this is really fun.
Yeah, good to go.
Yes, very fun.
Okay. Where are we at? Do we have more questions or are we good to go? How big can it be resized to? We talked about that one. So I need to make sure you guys know, make sure and enter. Are we doing the giveaway now or at the end? At the end. Okay. So I'm still going to tell you, do the HQ hashtag. You have to have the hashtag. That's the old fashioned pound sign, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Fashion
So the
sign.
pound sign, you have to do the pound sign HQ Rudolph, all smushed together. If you just type in HQ Rudolph, you won't get entered. You have to have the pound sign. Oh, we've got a question. Go ahead. Oh, Garla, what advice do you have for new long armers?
Practice and practice, and don't expect perfection to start. Definitely go to your local retail store when a handy quilter national educator is there teaching. They're phenomenal. And go more than once, because if you go to a basic like pro stitcher class or a handy quilter class, different teachers teach different every time. So you learn something every time. Like yesterday I was watching Sandy in here and I'm like, you can use a square foot with a ruler? I didn't know that. You'll always learn something new.
Game changer.
Game changer.
I love it.
Yeah. Or come stay at my house for a couple of days and sew with me.
We could do that too.
All right, let's close out Garla. Short break to get Shauna.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Garla, thank you so much for being here with us.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, and we'll do a quick little blurb here. What are you sharing with us tomorrow? Don't tell them everything. Just like,
Okay.
yeah, what are you going to give? What are you going to share tomorrow?
Reusable wrapping paper.
Reusable wrapping paper. I'll come and hang out with you tomorrow too.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Don't go away for long. We're just doing a quick minute to reset everything. And then I'm going to get on and show you another Christmas project. We're going to be doing a little bit of pro stitcher, a little bit of free motion. And you guys know that my passion is projects that I can do on the long arm. I am, if I have to go between two different machines, it does not get done.
Okay. Long arm all the way.
Long arm all the way. Here we go. So we'll get reset. We'll see you guys in a bit. got, I am, is my mic live? Okay, we are live again. Let's make sure we are here. Hello, everyone. I'm just still getting set up a little bit. So they informed me that the camera was still live while we were resetting. So some of you may have seen my little beverage of choice. If you did, put it in the comments because I want to know how many of you saw my beverage of choice. So we're live again. We're still doing the giveaway. We're still doing the $50 gift card for Handy Quilter. $50 gift card for Handy Quilter website. So anything at the website you can use the gift card for. While we're chatting, I'm just going to make sure I have all the feet that I need for this project we've got coming. Perfect. Okay. So, did anyone see? I'm trying to see. If you guys are here, no one saw it. Come on, you guys. It's probably because you guys were getting your own beverage of choice. I don't blame you. So I'm just going to go ahead and change my feet. This is something that we do all the time, and we have so many different feet. If you do win the gift card, you can put that towards buying a new set of feet. So we're going to be playing with the couching feet today. I also came prepared to do a little bit of binding on the long arm. So we get to play with a couple of different things today. I'm just realizing, okay, so you can look at my project. Let's show you what we're doing, and then I'll tell you all the pausing in my brain. This is what we are doing today. So this is, you want me here? There? Okay. Where are we at? This is an advent calendar that we're going to make directly on the long arm. So we have these little pockets down here that are numbered, and we're going to put these on directly on the long arm. And if you were here with us just the last hour, Garla had the most amazing button collection of Christmas buttons. And so here, I'll turn it this way so you guys can see. So what I did, as we were resetting, I was like, I think I just dropped one. But I was like, Garla, I need some Christmas buttons. So now I have cute little Christmas buttons for my advent calendar. Isn't that adorable? So we're going to have to figure out how we want to put those on. But oh, she gave me a bunch. Look at this. I've got a little snowman head in here. So we love Garla. She's awesome. We're going to figure out how to do this advent calendar today. We're going to do some couching here. This was just done with an edge-to-edge design. And then I came in with my couching foot, and then we came in and put on these pouches. So I'm going to show you exactly how we did it. My pausing that I was doing as I was standing here thinking, I was pausing because I kind of think I want to turn the project. So I don't have it basted down yet, which is good. So I'll talk it through with you guys so you can kind of see my reasoning. So when we talk about long arms, we have our throat space, and that gives us the amount of space that we can play in, right? And the throat space on the Amara, so we're quilting on the Handy Quilter Amara today, the Amara 20. So it is a 20-inch throat space, but you have to take into consideration your poles and how much fabric you have on your poles. That can kind of shrink in your throat space as well. And so this project, I'll just pick it up and show you. We'll put it down like this so you can see a little bit better. So all I've done is I have taken strips of fabric. These are 2.5-inch strips, so like a jelly roll. And I have just done a stitch and flip corner on each side. And I've centered them here so that I have a Christmas tree shape. That's literally all I've done. I added a sashing at the top, and then I have a section here at the bottom. This is all just fabric that I kind of had lying around, right? You can do it from a jelly roll. You can do it from your fabric scraps. And so I made this Christmas tree shape. And the one thing that's making me kind of think I want to turn it and work this way versus working sideways is that I have these little pieces right here. You can see that I've put these numbers on. And all I did was this is a strip that was 3 inches wide. And I know my project is 20 inches, I guess 20 inches wide this way. So it's 3 inches by 20 inches. And I've folded over the sides. So if you want to look, what I really did, we can look here on the back side. I've done a serge. I took it and did it on my serger. And then I just flipped it over and stitched it down. And I did it on the ends too, so that I could just have a little bit of a finished strip of fabric to put down for our pockets. So this, when they're finished, they come out to 18 inches And I know that my throat space gives me usually about 16 inches. So I know it's going to be easier if we turn this project and work top to bottom. That's the only reason that I'm changing my orientation, because usually I'm the kind of person that I love to work sideways so I can get the most quilting done possible. Sorry, I gotta get. Okay, so where did I get these numbers? These numbers are actually iron-on numbers. So you can purchase them online. You can purchase them at any fabric craft store. They're just kind of a little black fuzzy number that you iron on. Hold on. Lift. Okay, so right now I'm changing the foot, right? So I undid the screw and then I just lift the foot out. This lifts up and then you can pull the foot out. So here's our new foot. This one's pretty cool. This is our couching foot, but this is the smallest size of the couching foot. It has a blue insert. When you buy the couching feet, you actually get 3 feet in one, not in one, in a kit. No, bundle, that's the word. You get 3 feet all together. And so we're working with the smallest size today because we're going to be working with a small gold yarn. Maybe it's not really a yarn because it's metallic. So ribbon, maybe? Yeah, ribbon's a good word for it. So I'm just going to get this put back on. So when I put a foot on, I always try to lift, like have my finger supporting underneath the foot to make sure it's snug against the top. I like to just finger tighten it to make sure I'm kind of keeping it snug where I need it. And then I'll bring in my tool and tighten it the rest of the way. Just like that. And I've got a needle in here. This is a size 18 needle. I'm using some So Fine 50. This is Superior Threads. Love Superior Threads. I'm just doing So Fine 50. It's one of my favorites. So I kind of use it everywhere. And we're not doing the couching first right away, but you can use a couching foot when you're doing like edge to edge quilting. I wouldn't do a ton of free motion quilting with it. Not that there's a problem with it, but if I'm doing free motion quilting, I'm usually doing it with a ruler foot. We have a sure foot that you can do with rulers. And I usually have that going when I'm doing custom quilting or free motion quilting, because sometimes I'm just quilting along and then I'm like, I think I'm going to use a ruler now. So I'll pop that on. So that's the only reason that I wouldn't have it on when I'm doing custom quilting. But you can totally do free motion quilting with this one too. Okay, got everything threaded. I'm just going to do a quick basting stitch here at the top. So needle down, needle up, and I've got a fun green thread for the bottom. We went really Christmassy. So the green bobbin thread is probably hard to see against my fabric at the top, but just know that it's there because I saw it. Basting stitch, and we're going to go here straight across. Now you can use your channel locks. We've got a question coming in. Go ahead. Oh, I'm so glad you guys were watching. Okay, what you were seeing is a pre-wound bobbin, and when you get pre-wound bobbins, I'll pull one up and show you guys. This one is already used, so this pre-wound bobbin is already used because I can see that like there's thread missing and you can see the sides of the cardboard more. When I get a new bobbin that's pre-wound, I often will just pull off several lengths of thread just because it can be a little bit tacky just with how they compress the thread together to make it stay on the bobbin. So pre-wound bobbins, if they're brand new, I always just pull a little bit off to make sure that it's going to pull smoothly. And the other way to check it when you put your bobbin in, you know, and you do the, oh, whoops, have to turn off my machine when I'm not touching it. When you do the trick where you put the bobbin in the bobbin case and you lift it, you know, when you lift it, it kind of goes tick, 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 and it's not pulling smooth. That's when I'll pull off extra thread as well. I only ever do it when I'm doing pre-wound bobbins. If it's a bobbin that I've wound, I don't have to do that. So I'm so glad. Did you happen to notice my drink of choice? Whoever asked that question. A green can. Yep, that's the one. I needed a little bit of caffeine. And I love my caffeine bubbly. So I went with Mountain Dew. Okay, so I've basted across the top, and I'm sure some of you know, but when you're doing a project like this that has a lot of straight seams, it's very easy for, if you're not being careful as you're sewing or pressing, things can get a little bit wonky, right? Like it can start to curve one way. So when I'm doing something with this, I always try to kind of watch where my seams are, and I'll baste according to that. So
How do you base the straight line if you don't have pro stitcher?
someone is asking, how do you baste with a straight line if you don't have Pro Stitcher? I actually have that right here for you. This is what we like to call a channel lock. This is for anything. You can use it. When you have Pro Stitcher, you don't need these manual channel locks, but these work on any of our machines. It's just kind of like a C-shaped clamp, I guess, that you can pull it open. And can we get to the wheel here? I'm pulling my thread. So we can take this and clamp it on the wheel right here so that this is now locked. The machine will not move left to right. So now I'm channel locked that I can just move forward and backward, and I'll get one straight line. This channel lock will work here on the carriage or on the machine itself. So you can channel lock both directions. And if you enter for the gift card, that will work on those channel locks. We do have those on the Handy Quilter website. So that was my tie off. I do have my handlebars preset so that my left handlebar does a quick tie off for me. There we go, tie off. So swing away, pick up your thread, come forward, needle down, needle up. Now, while we're getting this all set up, I want to remind you guys, we do have a trade up option right now that if you have a machine with Handy Quilter, or you have another long arm and you want to trade up to get a Handy Quilter, we will help you with your trade-in process. And you can call us. There is a number that we've been putting up, and we have it in the comments too. Any type of, well, maybe not, let's see. Yeah, we are taking other long arm brands. So if you want to trade in, give us a call. We'll give you a quote. You don't have to buy, but you can call and get some information, and we'll help you figure out which machine is right for you. We also have been talking a lot today about the other machines that we have. We talked about the Moxie family machines. So those are, you can go and like rewatch the earlier session from today, and there's a ton of good information in there about the different machines and what they do, and help you figure out if that's what you want, you know, which machine you want. So I'm going to just kind of tuck this under here. I am floating this project because it is so small. I did not need to load it because it's tiny. But anytime you're worried about a project staying square, you should always load every single part of that project. So I'm going to advance it just a little bit because I want to be able to do the whole Christmas tree in one go. Anytime I can do one section all together, I try to do that. So on our sample, I did show you guys the sample. I'll pull it up really fast to show you again. I have some stitching right there. I have some stitching that I've already done. This is the like edge to edge stuff. Like just it's just a simple snowflake edge to edge design. I might do some of that, but I wanted to focus on the couching. And so I'll do just a little bit of the edge to edge, but this couching you want to do after you've done your edge to edge background stitching, if that makes sense. You shouldn't couch first and then do an edge to edge design. So just keep that in mind. Wanted to make sure we're all clear. Okay. Garla pulled up a lot of really pretty designs when we were stitching together. And so let me see. I'm going to clear everything so we're good to go. I'm going to set up an area. So on my screen, I'm just going to the area tab, and then I hit the 2-corner button. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom right of my design, and I'm going to hit the 2-corner button. And that gives me my area. Tells me my area is about 19.5 inches by almost 16 inches. So that gives me a fun space to play with this Christmas tree. I'm going to pull in a design. So we do File, Design, Open. Let's see. the designs that Garla brought, she actually took her jump drive back with her. So we're going to play and find a cute little Christmas one. So someone is asking if my gears are on. So let me show you that really fast. If I hit cancel right here, if you look at my crosshairs are orange, and that means my gears are on. That is a good question. So another way to tell, you can go to the Pro Stitcher tab, and this ribbon of buttons underneath the Pro Stitcher tab, it shows that my gears are orange, and that means they're turned on. If I turn off my gears, they go purple, and there's a line through them, and then my gears, the crosshairs changed to a purple crosshair, and they actually jumped positions. So the one thing about turning gears off and turning gears on, you will have your position move. So sometimes you'll have to remake your area or redesignate your area. So I'll turn my gears back on. It's usually pretty good that it'll jump back to the same spot if you don't move the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and just double check my area now that I've turned my gears off and on. So I move my machine, looks good there. I'm going to move it to the top left up here.
Why would you want your gears on and off? What?
Looks good there. Someone is asking why I would want my gears off or on. I turn my gears off if I'm doing free motion quilting. I actually leave the gears on when I'm doing basting because I like the weight of the machine to help me keep a straight line, but I can turn my channel locks on for that too. If you're doing channel locks, you definitely have to have your gears on. And then the gears are always on when you're doing computerized quilting. So any kind of design that I'm pulling up to do in Pro Stitcher, you have to have your gears on for that. So these are great questions. Keep them coming. I do have people asking, like shouting out your questions to me. So let me know if we're missing anything. So on my screen, I'm going to do File, Design, Open. And I'm just going to open up just a continuous line design here. And I just kind of want something to fill it in a little bit. So I'm just going to do this curls design. And this one is one that will repeat really nicely. It'll turn, like if I go to the Repeat tab and I just hit Fill, you'll see that it makes these really nice swirls. And I'm going to add one more horizontal repeat just to fill it in. Actually, I'm going to add two. Sometimes when you're doing designs like this in Pro Stitcher, you do have to add extra repeats to get the design to fill how you need it to in your area. And I'm going to add one more vertical repeat so I have a little bit more space there. I'm moving it with my finger on the screen. That's how I'm putting it where I want it to be. And I'm actually going to do something fun where I wrap the design. So at the top of the ribbon tab, right underneath the repeat, there's a button called Wrap. So if I push that one, on the right-hand side, I go over to the horizontal adjustments, I guess. And then here in the middle, I have a row button, and I'm going to push the half button. And it actually will change where the rows repeat. And then you can kind of adjust it and get some cool looking designs depending on how you have things repeating. So I just wanted a little bit of movement, more movement with these swirls. Now I'm going to crop around my area. So I go to the Modify tab, and I'm moving pretty fast. So if you guys are feeling like, hey, I want to know how she does this, we have a ton of tutorials on the Handy Quilter website. So you can check us out on YouTube. We've got a bunch of tutorials there. So just check out how to do like an edge-to-edge design. So if I'm going too fast, don't stress. You don't have to take notes. There's not a test. So under the Modify tab, I'm going to hit the Crop button. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to crop everything outside of my area. And then I'm going to hit Baseline. This is on the left-hand side of the screen. If I hit Baseline, then everything is kind of pinned together. All of my changes that I made to this design are locked in. And then I'm going to be good to go. So I'm going to tell it to start stitching. So I'm going to go to the Pro Stitcher tab. The quilt is already selected. The button for quilting is selected. And then on the bottom left, I can hit the Run button and tell it that I'm ready to proceed. Okay. So as this is stitching out, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Amara. That's the machine that we're stitching on today. This one has a 20-inch throat space, and this is actually what I stitch on at home all the time. It's what I prefer because it's a good amount of throat space, but it also is, so like I can get some good designs to fill my quilt if I'm doing an edge-to-edge design. But then I can totally do free motion quilting with it. When you get a bigger machine, sometimes it's too heavy to easily move it with a lot of free motion quilting. So that's why I went with a 20-inch throat space for myself, because I wanted to be able to do a lot of free motion quilting as well. So the cool thing about this, it's when you crop a design, according to an area, it's not going to stitch outside of that area. And so this design has actually put in some jumps. I need to turn off the pause delay. So what you're seeing this machine do, I can tell you, it's doing a pause delay. That's a setting that we have where after it starts stitching after a jump, or like it starts a new row, the machine will pause so that you can snip the thread. If the machine moves out of the way enough so you can snip it. Okay, I'm going to come over here, tell it to stitch again. We're going to do just a couple rows of this, and then I'll get to the couching. Oh, did you see that? There we go. Did you? I don't know if you guys could see it. It flipped up the edge of my project because I didn't baste well enough. There we go. All right, we're going to hit resume. So watch this time. Once the machine has stitched about an inch or two away from where it starts, it's going to pause. It's pausing so that I can snip the thread here, so the machine is out of the way enough for the snipping. So some people love the pause delay. Other people, Garla said she likes to play thread chicken. That's what she called it, where she just lets the machine move out of the way and she snips it once it's far enough away. So when you do your trade up, because we have the trade up offer going on right now, that we will take your old machine. When you do the trade up, we actually have a promo going right now that we will do you can get one of 3 different bundles. You can pick your bundle. So we will do a highlight, which is this right here. You can see it. We don't have it turned on for filming purposes. It's hard to have good lighting when this is on. But when you're stitching at home, you definitely want to have a highlight. I absolutely love mine. So we have a highlight for our first bundle. The second option is a thread and batting bundle, which is incredible. It's American Heritage batting, and it's a 25-yard roll, which is huge. You can do a lot of quilts with a 25-yard roll. So all I'm doing is snipping my thread, my bobbin thread, at the end of the row, and then I come over here and tell it to start again. I don't have to do any readjusting, or I don't have to drag and drop the design, because I have enough repeats in my throat space that I don't have to worry about that. So, the bundles. So the second bundle was the thread and batting. The thread that you get in that bundle is actually from Superior Threads, and they do have bobbins, pre-wound bobbins in it too. So you saw me playing with pre-wound bobbins in the break, and so if you want some pre-wound bobbins to play with, you could do the bundle when you trade up your machine, the thread and the batting. And there's going to be a bunch of different types of thread for you to play with too. So, oh yeah, it's telling me to snip my thread. Oh, I already did it. That's my force of habit, right? I'm the one that plays thread chicken too. And then our third option, if you're doing the bundle, like the choose your own promo bundle, the third option is $500 for Pro Stitcher Designs. So if you're upgrading, this is something else. If you're upgrading to get Pro Stitcher, that counts as buying a machine, which means you can do the bundle. And you could get $500 of designs on ProStitcherDesigns.com. So there's a lot of really great designs there. We have been doing, I know I mentioned this before, but I am loving all of the really geometric designs that you're seeing right now on the Pro Stitcher library. So I would go check out some other things. We're going to do, let's see, we can probably do 2 more rows because these are moving pretty fast, which is why I picked this one. When you do a lot of computerized quilting, you start to learn which designs go fast and which ones take a little longer. When you have swirls, the swirls move pretty quick because I want to make sure we get to all of the fun stuff. Okay, do we have any questions while we're going? I want to make sure that we're answering anything as we go. Okay, what is my favorite foot to use when I'm doing edge-to-edge design? I actually prefer the glide foot. And I probably have that on my machine 90% of the time because it's really great for doing edge to edge. But I won't like use it for like doing an edge to edge over applique. So the glide foot is the one that's like shaped like a bowl. It will glide over everything, but I still wouldn't stitch over like applique or anything with it. I would try to do custom quilting on an applique quilt. So, and I wanted to do a shout out. I don't know if you guys were watching yesterday, but this quilt behind me, this one is a tulip pink quilt that we have. Someone here did it. It's Sarah, right? Okay, Sarah was on filming yesterday and talked a lot about the different machines and stuff. She is so incredibly knowledgeable. And Sarah, this quilt, she made it. And I am in love with the colors. And I know that like we have our Christmas quilt up, right? Because it's Christmas in July. And then we have our bright colors because it's July. And you need fun colors in July, right? Nice and summery. Oh, it's telling me it has to finish its stitches because it did the pause delay. So the fun thing about this design is it kind of looks like snowflake swirls, but it's red. We wanted a good thread that would show up really well for you guys to watch from home. Okay, one more here, and then we'll do some couching. And so you guys know you can always go back and watch these. These videos that we're doing right now will be saved on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch, yep, here's my pause delay. I got to turn that off. You can always go back and watch the videos to see what we did to get the ideas, you know, to figure out what machine is right for you, all that good stuff. Do we have any other questions? Okay, we're doing great. While we're kind of letting this finish, I'm going to talk you through. I'll show you on these. So the process of getting these ready. So these are iron on numbers, right? And what I did is after I had stitched down all of my edges, I laid this out on my cutting mat so that I could have the inches kind of laid out in front of me. So it was easier to place these numbers because they're kind of placed, it feels a little bit awkward because you have them evenly spaced so that when you put them together in, like when you stitch it together for the pouches, if it just felt a little awkward. So, oh, sorry, cancel. This was me. So let me show you what I did because we got to show you how to avoid our mistakes. There we go. So I basted to here, right? I basted to here and then I advanced and I didn't finish basting. So I have a good 3 or 4 inches here that are not basted. And so when the machine tried to stitch here, it actually started snagging my quilt project. So now you guys know in real time why we based our projects down. So I'm going to hurry and fix that and then we can keep going. Much better. Okay. When we are basting, with Pro Stitcher, you can just hit the button and tell it to do a basting stitch. But if you don't have Pro Stitcher, you can just drop your stitches per inch down to 4. And dropping it down to 4 is basically the same thing as a basting stitch. You just want to have really wide stitches because then if you want to go back and pick them out, they're easy to unpick. When you're doing basting stitches on the side, they usually get hidden underneath the binding. So I don't usually unpick my basting stitches at the edges, but you totally can. Okay, we got our threads cleaned up. So because I nudged the machine, I'm going to make sure that I don't have to reposition anything. So the way to do this, you look at the design here on the quilt, the design from the row that you just stitched, and I like to find a point there. I usually go to the bottom of that curve, and then I look at my screen, and I can see it's just slightly off. So looking at my screen, I move the crosshairs to the bottom of that curve, and then on the left-hand side, I'm going to hit drag. And then I can move it. And looking down at the quilt, I move the needle to where that same point is. And then on the screen again, I just hit drop. So it doesn't look like it's lining up anymore, but if you heard, I don't know if you could hear it, but when I said, oh, and I stopped the machine, it kind of went ga, 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 ga. Those are the gears trying to stop. And that means that the machine and the area are no longer in line. So the easy way to fix it is to just drag and drop and keep going with your project. If you're someone who's worried that it's not going to fit in the same area, you should recreate your area. But because this is essentially an edge-to-edge design, I'm not really that worried about it. So the next thing we have to do, though, is move our start and stop point. So if we go to the Pro Stitcher window, we go to the Pro Stitcher tab, the new start and end point, and I know, so you can see my crosshairs right here. I know that is the last point, that's the last row that I did. So the way that I like to do this is just move down to the next row and hit on the right-hand side of the screen, there's the auto button. Sometimes you have to move it to see, yep, right there. And then I hit the auto button again, and that tells that start point to stay right where it is. So, yep, we're good to go. So now I can go back to the top of the screen and hit the quilt button. And then I can, at the bottom left, I'll hit the run button. Hold on, I'm actually going to tell it to stop the pause delay while we're here because I keep forgetting. What size of stitch do I use when I'm basting? I do the 1/4 inch basting stitch, which is 4 stitches per inch. So, excuse me. That means that it's the same thing as just dropping your stitches per inch down to 4. So that's why you can do the same thing on the Moxie. It just doesn't have the baste button programmed in. Okay. We're good to go. And I turned off my pause delay, which is just a personal preference. As you're quilting, you'll figure out which things you really like. There we go. Okay, back to telling you about my how I did this. So these are iron-on numbers, and you can get them at a craft store. You can order them online. I just peeled them off, and then I placed them with this on my cutting mat so that I had my inches here at the bottom. And then I placed these every 3 inches because I know this is 18 inches, and I know I want 6 pockets. So each pocket should take up 3 inches of space, if that makes sense. So I laid them all out and I ironed them all on. So we have 4 different strips here of all of the numbers so that we can add the pockets super easy. And I want to get, I'm trying to make sure we get enough time to show you everything because this is an awesome project. So yeah, we're going to do one more row because then it covers the Christmas tree. And then I can add, I'll show you how we add the pockets and we'll get to couching. So also, I don't know how many of you pay attention to online fads. There's something called ASMR, which is basically watching videos that have sound, and for some people it just kind of like scratches an itch in their brain. That's how I feel when I'm watching my Pro Stitcher. I feel like I'm watching an ASMR video because it just it just like soothes my brain to watch it stitch it out, to see the precise points, to see how the designs nest and line up so pretty. So Pro Stitcher is one of my favorite things for sure. So just a little hint, if you are going to do a Christmas tree like this, I have found that when I was sizing things up, like for the different sections of the green, if you just size it down by 1 inch per branch section, 1 inch gives you a better looking branch than doing something bigger or something smaller. But that's just a personal preference. So what I mean is if this is a 2.5 inch strip and this is 13 inches, then you size it down to like 12 and 10 and 11 or whatever. Some of them jump bigger, some of them jump smaller, but just play with it. Like Garla said, this is a craft. We're doing a craft, not a quilt. So, okay. We're going to advance this now so that we can get these pockets put on, and then we'll do the couching because that's always the best part. Okay. So I'm just going to lift up the ratchet stop on the front pole. Roll it back like this. Oh, my. There we go. I got to get that one out of the way. We are so close with our backing. I'm actually going to, so let me show you here. Our backing fabric is right here at the leader. So as I'm doing this, I'm just going to make sure that I don't go that far down because I don't want to have to take the time to add on more backing, which we totally can do. It's something that we do all the time when we run out of backing here. Okay, so I'm just going to place these on and eyeball them. Sometimes you can pin them, like if you are worried about placement and you really want it pinned nicely, you can do that. Okay, and yes, so here's where my pins are. I wanted to make sure I have enough space, which I do. So I'm going to hurry and baste so that we don't have this problem. My ratchets are down. We're good. Okay. All right, pull up your bobbin thread. Basting stitch on, and we're going to just baste this down. So something that I love about my Amara, the versatility of it, right? That I can do all of this free motion quilting. I can do pro stitcher quilting, but you can also do ruler work. Garla mentioned that she has a ruler now, a ruler base, but she hasn't done any ruler work yet. And ruler work is one of my favorite ways to get really precise quilting. So if you're entering for the giveaway, you know, with the hashtag HQ Rudolph, you can actually use that gift card to get some rulers or a ruler base too. So my favorite ruler, if I were going to get one, it would be the straight edge ruler. The most that I do with rulers is all straight line quilting. So if you were going to look for a ruler, I would definitely send you to get the straight edge ruler or the multi-tool, because that one has 4 different edges in one. It's perfect. Perfect way to go. All right, we're all basted. And if we wanted to be very, very specific, you can fold these in half and find your center point like this. After it's marked, you could put a pin in it, have your center point marked here so that everything is centered. I'm actually not a very exact quilter like that. So, you know, take it or leave it. If you want to have things be a lot more centered and a lot more precise, then you definitely should do it because it's your project and you want it to make you happy. So I really am just eyeballing everything. So the way that I did this when I was working on the sample at home, I left everything centered and left it loose like this so that I could adjust it as I went, but I really didn't need to. So we're going to literally just stitch these down. Needle down, needle up. Now for this one, I usually pull the machine away, but because I'm trying to keep something in a certain spot on the machine, I actually will swoop underneath the foot this time to get it. Come on. Oh, I have to move it anyway. It's because it's super thick. I moved it anyway. So the thick that I'm talking about, we have like I folded things over. You can see on this side, like I folded it over to finish the edge. And it didn't want to swing under it very easily. So, all right, I'm holding my top and my bottom thread. I'm actually going to put my needle down before I start so I can make sure I am where I want to be. And then I can do my tie off button. I'm going to change my settings so that I can do my needle down. Perfect. And then I'm still in basting. Did you guys see that? Finished. Basting is done. Turned it off. Okay. Now I'm going to stitch down the side and then just across the bottom. And then when I get in between the 1 and the 2, I'm just going to go up and down, just like this. And if I do it twice, it reinforces the seam. That's why I'm going up and down and along the bottom. So I'm between the 2 and the 3, up, down, along the bottom. Now, we talked about channel locks already. You can definitely use channel locks to keep this project square. Right about there. Because you can use channel locks to go left to right and up and down. Okay, first one done. Tie off. I like to swing away, pick up my top thread, come back, needle down, needle up. And there's my bobbin thread. Okay. We're going to reposition this one. Woo! There we go. Okay, we're going to try it again. I know this is a really thick spot, but I really wanted to do the swing underneath thing. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we're talking, as we're working on Christmas stuff, what is my favorite Christmas song? I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one I always think of, and it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because my kids are so obsessed with it, right? And they always have to do the extra little calls that they do in the song, you know. He had a very shiny nose like a light bulb. But of course they make up their own lyrics to it too, so I'm not sure if it's my favorite. I do love White Christmas though too. It's kind of interesting working on Christmas stuff in July because like you can start to find Christmas stuff in the fabric stores, but it still feels so weird. So here in Utah, we definitely get a lot of really good winters. We get a lot of snow. And so it just feels weird to be doing red and green fabric while it's still so hot outside. There we go. Yeah, it was way hot here yesterday. Okay. We have 2 of them done, and you can see I've already got my little pouches here. They work perfect. If you don't want to do any prep work, because sometimes we are lazy quilters, if you don't want to do any prep work beforehand, you can totally do a raw edge sash or piece of fabric. You do not have to finish the edges. It depends on the look that you're going for, or I guess how much time you want to put into it. And this is a perfect gift if you are needing something to like send to family. Like if you're living far away from family and you want to send them something that's you know, kind of thoughtful and more interactional. Interactive. I've got people here helping me with my words. Thank you. This is something that you can send to grandkids, and you can customize what you put in these pockets. You could just go to the dollar store and get a couple of different toys so that whether you like try to have the toys be decorations on the Christmas tree, or you have it be like a little pouch of candy, and each day they get a candy out of one of the little pockets. That's a fun thing that you can do for grandkids or kids. I do know that I can't do candy in mine because one of my littles is a candy fiend, and she would eat them all in one day. She would not wait. Good. Okay, one more to go, and then we get to play couching. And I also did bring, we might be able to, I also did bring some binding that I could show you guys how to do binding on the long arm. This is a perfect project for practicing the binding because it's so small. And if you mess it up and you don't like how it turns out, it's easy to unpick and do it better on the domestic machine. But I really think you should start practicing, like trying new things, because that's how you know what you end up loving or hating. You don't know until you try it. So, and if you're going to do binding on the long arm, you definitely need to have the square foot. That is one of the feet that we have on the website, and you could totally get it with your gift card. So you guys got to be entering. It's hashtag HQ Rudolph. That's what we're doing for the giveaway. So we were talking on the break here in the studio. We were kind of chatting, and we were saying, well, what thread do we want to do? We want a good thread that shows up really well on film, which means it doesn't really blend. And when you're quilting, you usually want to pick thread that blends really well. And so it's kind of unique that working, in a filming studio, you don't pick thread you normally would. And so I end up with a lot of samples that have really bright thread on them. And my mom just knows that she gets all those samples. She's very happy with them. She loves having all these fun things that I make. So don't be afraid to try bright colored thread. So we've got that attached. Like this part of the project is done, which is awesome. So now we can go, we're going to roll back up to the tree and do some couching. So I brought a couple different kinds of thread to show you, to give you different ideas. Let me get this popped back up. That should be good. So I did bring, it's in a beach bag, which is not Christmassy, but I love making bags. So I brought, it is huge. You never have enough yarn. I brought some yarn, just some yarn. And then I brought this one. This is the gold one that I used. I've got my binding. We'll see if we can get to it. So I wanted to just show you, we're not going to use this red one, but so I bought this because I was couching on a Valentine quilt, but it's a perfect color for Christmas too. So before you're couching, you should look and see like what you have and what you want to play with, because if you don't, like I had yellow and I thought yellow would look so pretty to have like a garland on the Christmas tree. And I kind of like laid it out and I ended up not really liking it. So, but that's why we get out our different yarns and we play with them and we kind of place them. And this one actually looks pretty good doing a red, because red and green are so Christmas, right? It's very, very pretty together. So you could totally do something like this. Draping it out like this, pulling it out helps you get an idea for what it'll look like. But I know I want to do the gold thread already.
Could you do both?
Could I do both? Yes, I could, but I know I would have to change my couching foot. I couldn't do both together. So this couching foot, when I put it on, I showed you this couching foot is the blue color couching foot. When you buy the couching feet, they come in a set of 3. And for the red yarn, you actually have to use the red yarn I just showed you. It's a chenille yarn. You have to use the biggest foot possible when you're couching with that yarn because it's so thick. So this, you can see it's more of a ribbon, more of a fine ribbon. I guess is that hard to see? It's more of a fine ribbon than an actual yarn. Yeah, there you go. But this one works perfect with the smallest couching foot. So, and I'm unspooling a bunch of it because when you couch, you want to have a big area that's like not on the spool so that it's not tugging and causing problems. So I'm going to come up here to the very top. Actually, no, I lied. I'm going to come to the bottom. So the reason I'm changing, I want to do inside the tree first. And if I start the bottom with my couching and I work my way to the top, then I can trace around the tree with the remainder and end at the same point. So not that it matters, but just so you understand my thought process. Okay, I've got it all unspooled. I want to make sure there's no knots in it because knots do not work when you're couching. So you want to make sure the yarn that you're using is nice and straight, unwound really well. So when we do couching, we have to get the yarn to go through the couching foot before we can start. The best way to do that is to go to your start point, hold your top thread, drop your needle down, and then pick it up, swing away. So we pick up our bobbin thread, right? Come back to your start point. In my left hand, I'm going to hold both of my thread, top and bottom, and I'm going to take the start of my yarn and I'm going to come between my needle and my foot. So I'm coming between like this, and then I'm going to hold the yarn out of the way, and I'm going to drop my needle down again. I want to make sure you guys can see. I'm trying to make sure. Can we see okay? Yeah, okay. Drop the needle down and then lift it up. And then I let go of my yarn. I still am holding on to my top and bottom thread. And I just pull away a little bit and I can tug it under. See, so now the yarn moves freely through the foot. So that's how I know I can start couching. Come back to my start point. And I'm going to drop my needle down just to hold on so that I have everything where I need to be. And then I like to do just a little bit of movement. So we're going to do point of order. I'm turning off my gears. So someone asked about that earlier. I'm going to turn off the gears so that my machine will move a little bit more smoothly so that I can get better curves. All right, here we go. Much better. Oh, that's so pretty. You can see just a hint of the red thread through the gold. It's really pretty. Okay, I'm going to snip this over here. And it's nice because when I come back around, I'm actually going to stitch over this point to help stitch it down. Okay, now we get to play. And the one thing about couching to kind of watch, you want to have a good amount of yarn kind of off to the side so that you don't start pulling. If you start pulling the yarn too tight, it won't always catch it with the needle in the thread path. So to get better results, you always want to have kind of like a pool of yarn off to the side. So right here, I'm getting really close to having a knot. So anytime that happens, I just pause. So when you're couching, you can go fast, but I would just slow it down to make sure you can get the results that you want. It's better to go slow, unless you like unpicking. Unpicking is always a fun pastime. I guess you can pick and choose your hobbies. Not me. I don't want to unpick. Yeah, pick and choose. I get it. Okay, I'm just unspooling a little bit more. There we go. All right. Oh, almost got it again. So because it's just the nature of this type of ribbon that it's kind of like twisting around itself. So just kind of watch that as you go, just to be extra careful. So now I'm going to just start coming around the tree. There we go. I think the cord is kind of getting caught from filming. Okay. Perfect. And I also, you guys, if I put this on, is that going to be in the way of the filming? Okay. Okay. Had them off and now much better. So you can see as I'm quilting, I kind of am like pausing and making sure I have everything where I need it to be. Sometimes it's a process where I can just sit down and sew or quilt. And sometimes it's slow where you have to kind of, oh, see, we got a knot. Okay, I could keep going. I think it will suck underneath, but I don't want to because I like the look of the thinner gold. If it has a knot in it, then it won't be that same look. So I snipped that. I'm going to back up and pull this one out. There we go. We're going to play doctor here a minute and snip everything apart. Okay. I've got this off to the side. I caught the part that got caught underneath. I am going to swing away all the way and pull up my bobbin thread. So pick up my top thread, come to where I stopped, needle down, needle up, swing away. This is just to pull up my bobbin thread, right? So I can start again. So I'm going to come back a little bit further back here so that I can overlap where I was going, right? So I'm going to drop my needle to pull up my bobbin thread. Come back here, line up where I want to be, take my thread, and we're going to go through between the needle and the foot and pull it off to the side. Okay, make sure we can see. Is that okay? Yep, okay. All right, needle down, needle up, and then I can pull. Yep, everything's moving smoothly through the foot. Good. I'll come back over here, put my needle down, and then I'm going to unspool my yarn again, ribbon, and make sure that I don't have it caught. Okay, there we go. Perfect. I'm probably going to be a little bit like too cautious now. There we go. So this part, I'm just going to snip because it's already stitched down. But if you're worried about it, you can always go back over and stitch things down again. So as I'm doing this, I'm watching, I can see I'm getting a twist here. So again, just go slow. And I'm getting too tight here, so it's time for me to unspool some more yarn. Good. We are almost done, you guys. So make sure you're putting in all the comments for the hashtag HQ Rudolph. I want to make sure everyone gets entered in the giveaway. It's for $50 to the Handy Quilter website. So make sure you type in the comments, HQ Rudolph. Good. All right, here. Good. Okay. I'm trying really hard. Oh, I almost ran over it. Oh, I caught it. I saved it. Yes. Perfect. We're almost done here. So how do we finish couching? It's really simple. We just snip our yarn right where we're, so I just have a tiny bit more here to do. I'm going to snip the yarn longer than I need it and get it out of the way. And then just stitch it down following the same path. And we're good to go. There we go. I want to do a drawing. Let's do it, you guys. Okay, we're doing the drawing. Remember, this was the hashtag HQ Rudolph. And let's see, who is winning it? Winner, Lori Lutzo. So how you win, Lori, how you claim your gift card, you have to send an email to spotlight@handyquilter.com. Let them know that you won the gift card. And do you care about the hashtag she used? No? Okay, just so email spotlight@handyquilter.com. You're going to get a $50 gift card. Super excited for you. You should probably check out the batting scissors. I say that for everyone, but they're really that amazing. You could also check out the couching feet because that's what we were playing with today, right? We're also, before we finish, I need to tell you guys about our trade-in process or trade-up. We're doing a trade-up thing right now where if you have a machine and you want to get, a little more throat space, or if you're running a Moxie XL and you're ready for a Pro Stitcher, just call us. Give us a call. There's a phone number. We've been putting it everywhere. It's in the comments. It's on the screen. Call us and we'll help you get a quote together for what you can expect for trading in your machine. So also, if you do trade in your machine, if you buy a new machine, we have a promo going. You can pick one of 3 for a bundle, like a bundle promo. The first one is you can get a highlight. That's this here. You can get a highlight for your machine. Or you can pick the thread and batting bundle, which I probably would go with because I love thread. But it's a huge roll of batting and a bunch of different threads. Or the third one you could do is Pro Stitcher Designs, $500 to Pro Stitcher Designs from the Pro Stitcher website. So if you have Pro Stitcher, that's a really great option to get to if you're going to upgrade. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today. Yes, we got to chat about tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to get together. Garla's coming back. We're going to be doing gift wrapping. That's all I'm going to say. Gift wrapping. So come hang out with us, see what we have planned. And then tomorrow afternoon, we actually have Barbie Mills coming. She is the quilting mill. She has designed a lot of really adorable Christmas pantograph edge-to-edge designs. She does designs for Pro Stitcher. So come hang out with her in the afternoon. She and Kim are going to be talking about a couple of different projects too. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Come hang out. 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah. Come bright and early. We're ready to go.
How long does the promotion run? It runs until August 30th.
Okay, someone is asking how long the current promotion runs. It's until August 30th. So you have a little bit of time to think about it, but don't think too long because it's only till August 30th. So if you want to do your upgrade, yeah, get it figured out. Give us a call. We'll help you figure out which one is right for you.